ready to get in the game now. The last thing you want is to wait and wait. Because the game waits for no one. WD Black, performance storage, purpose-built for gaming. Get in fast, so you can take them out faster. SSD speed that obliterates load times. Performance to transform your game. Expanded capacity to store more. Customizable RGB. Fine-tuned for every style of play. PC, laptop, console. WD Black is purpose-built for the way you game. Because the game never waits. WD Black. Drive your game.
So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Dr. Dang, and along with me is going to be Lucifer, as usual, as I welcome you all to AMD Ryzen presents Skyesports League 2021, powered by WD Black. Platform partner GoGame.Live, connectivity partner Act FiberNet, and broadcast partner Loco.
Dr. Dang, today, it's day 46 and we are so close, just 2 more days left to finish the league matches. I am so excited because as we were talking about, we are getting so close to less than 10 days, and for all the viewers, we are only 9 days away and we are heading into the playoffs, we are heading into the qualifications, and as well as the grand finales are not out from reach. And you know how important today's match is for Kolkata Tridents. Yes, it is Kolkata that backed the flawless victory yesterday, but today they're facing off Mumbai Aces, which is one of the teams that took down Rajasthan Strikers, and their match is something is always interesting. You cannot tell that okay, the Mumbai Aces are not prepared today or Mumbai Aces are not having a good day. Their matches become interesting either on the first map or the second map, and you get flustered. So it's going to be an interesting day 46, Dr. Dang.
Well, yes, it is definitely going to be a very interesting day 46 for one reason and one reason only. If Kolkata Tridents do not manage to win this out, it is going to get very difficult for them to qualify. We said that yesterday as well, because every single game for them is going to be a do or die. They do not win that game, well, they are going to be having a big problem on their hands. And if they do not win today's game, well, then the last game that they have to win. So as far as things go, if they get a flawless win today, they might just be able to contest for a spot against Delhi, considering Delhi still loses. Because if Delhi wins, that's it. Game over for Kolkata. They still have that stroke of luck against them. Because if Delhi can win out that final game, even with a 2-1 score, they'll be up from 16 to 18 points, which means that it'll be impossible for Kolkata to catch up. But if Kolkata can hope that Delhi loses that game and Kolkata wins the remaining 2 games that they have, they should be able to make their way into the playoffs.
I agree with you. I mean, talking about why these teams are pushing themselves into qualification is because of the prize pool. With the total prize pool of 15 lakhs, and the champions have a chance to walk away with You know what? 6,50,000 along with the bragging rights, along with the title. And in League 2020, Hyderabad walked away. Rajasthan were runner ups. And now look at Rajasthan where they stand. There is also Bengaluru who's catching up. Hyderabad do not want to let go of their chance, as you mentioned, Delhi and Kolkata are fighting hard to stay on track. Second place, third place, fourth place, there are also placement prizes. Second place will be walking away with 3 lakh. Third place will be walking away with 1,50,000. Fourth place will be walking away with 1 lakh, and the other teams placed from 5 to 8th position will be taking 50,000 each. But we also have two amazing individual prizes.
Yep, that is true. The two individual prizes that we do have for you guys are, or rather for the players, are going to be the AMD Ryzen MVP of the tournament, who gets a 50,000 cash prize for themselves. WD Black Emerging Player of the Season is also going to be getting a 50,000 cash prize for themselves. So with all of that, it amounts to a total of 15 lakh rupees, the biggest prize pool for a single tournament in the country ever. And well, as far as things go, Sky League is always at the forefront of bringing you the biggest and the baddest prize pools that you have in the Indian gaming scene.
I agree with you, Dr. Rang. I mean, Skyesports, you're just seeing how from League 2020, League 2021 has come in, and it's just a matter of, I guess, few more months that we'll start seeing League 2022 with the Season 3. And right now, imagining that we have the biggest prize pool right here in League 2021, I'm just trying to think where we'll be standing at League 22-22, because all these teams, how they've improved from their initial journeys. I think for the teams that have said goodbye with us, that will be Punjab as well as Chennai after yesterday's match. Today it is also Mumbai Aces last match that they'll be playing. They've 13 matches already played. This is one of their matches that they'll be playing as their 14th match. And will they be able to take down the side of Kolkata Tridents, as Dr. Dang mentioned? Because for Kolkata Tridents, the points are at most important. Because if they lose even the bonus point, it might get difficult for them to qualify, because they have one more match, and the one more match that they have is not going to be easy, because it's against Hyderabad Nawabs, and Hyderabad Nawabs are facing off both these teams. One is Kolkata Tridents as well as Delhi Dragons. So Hyderabad Nawabs is becoming a troublemaker for both these teams on making sure they have a spot on the qualification table.
I agree. I think that the biggest change that we have seen from Kolkata has been the fact that with the addition of Flex coming in back once again into the roster and playing with them, we have seen that they have been a much more stable squad. Yes, with Whitehorse, they had that sentinel role in place, but I feel that with Flex, they have the ability to let Deathmaker play the way that he does, let him play the game that he wants to play. And well, that is just going to be something that is, a lot more beneficial right now in this situation where they have to play the 4 professional players as well as a content creator. Not to mention the mid-season transfer of Rexy has changed up their lineup quite a bit. Rexy being able to switch over from a Sky to a Sova, from a Sentinel to a Duelist, that is something that Kolkata needed in a player. Because yes, Flex was able to do that, but then once he was locked in on a Phoenix as a Duelist, it all came down to Hevan. But now with Rexy or Whitehorse on the sides of Hevan, he always has some support that he can look for himself and get a player who thinks similarly to him. And well, that is going to be extremely useful for the side of Kolkata today. Not to mention that, well, if Deathmaker does anything what he did like yesterday that he did on Bind, we can just call it a GG, because 36 and 7 or 36 and 8 is what Deathmaker ended that match on, with a 600 average combat score and a 207 econ rating. So yeah, if Deathmaker is back to doing those things, you can call it a good day. And well, when Mumbai can basically find cover for themselves if they can.
I agree with you. It's going to be a very tough time for the side of Team Mumbai Aces. I understand they're not going to make their way into the playoffs, but still, they have been a little bit of a troublemaker for certain teams in trying and denying the points. And we did see that Rajasthan did walk away with a flawless victory in front of Mumbai Aces, but the initial two matches that they played was like not completely dominating, but the last match they just had for fun because they knew it was bonus points, and Mumbai not having a chance to qualify, they did just try and play at best as possible. And but for today's match, they know they can be a really good hard stop for the side of team Kolkata Tridents. We did see the Trafa action missing, and yes, there was Strix, Not Fox, Chromes, Binks, Fatu, all those players playing. There was also a lot of kills happening from Binks as well as Fatu to change the games as he's been doing, becoming the content creator for the side of Mumbai Aces. But it still goes to say they were lacking a little bit of their strategies play, because as Binks, we have seen him on a controller and a sentinel. He has been great for the team. And I think for the side of team Mumbai Aces, either Binks needs to choose that he becomes the IGL and plays a controller or a sentinel, or he becomes just an IGL or just becomes a duelist, because he's performing multiple roles, which is I might say might be taking a lot of time and also might be taking a lot of patience of his in trying to play his own game. So Binks, if he manages to find a sweet spot in between the agent he plays as well as IGLing, it'll be a really good side for the side of Mumbai Aces. But if somebody else comes in as that IGL, Binks I think out can outshine, just like how Deathmaker, Rossi, Rafa, Strix, all these players as individuals keep fighting. It's going to be a really good show that Binks individually can put up. Because look at the top 5 players, Binks is at the 5th position. So Binks, I think, very easily might be able to pull this off, because at 628 kills, he's at the 5th position. Yes, they're out of the tournament. They'll be playing the last match today, but it'll not. It's something that goes to say that becoming an IGL, playing a duelist, and all the multiple rows, he has managed to pull it off. Skills is at the 4th position, MW1 at the 3rd. Top 2 positions are strongly held by SK, Rossi and DM has a really good chance on his 3rd match that he can come close to SK Rossi. We saw, as Dr. Dang mentioned, with 36 kills and 8 deaths, he was very close to 80 to 90 kills that he pulled off yesterday, and if he does the same thing here in front of Mumbai Aces today, DM can be very close. And as we have said, if DM gets as close as possible to SK Rossi, it's going to be both these players that will be fighting out to get the first 1000 kill. But I think with Bengaluru having the first match tomorrow before Kolkata Tridents, SK Rossi stands a really good chance in reaching that mark of the 1000 kills.
Well, yes, that is going to be extremely true, because we've seen this. We've been at this position before where, well, Rossi and Deathmaker, both of them are just going to be trying to one up each other. And well, so far it's been SK Rossi at top, but well, he's not only 115 kills up, but for Deathmaker, 115 kills is not too much. 115 for a lot of other players is going to be a huge number to overcome, but for Deathmaker and Rossi, that is not going to be a problem. So well, it will all depend on whether Deathmaker and Rossi are going to be going up against each other in the grand finals or in the qualifier 1, 2 or eliminator. Unlikely that Rossi will be making his way to the eliminator, but still, that is going to be something that could happen. And we look at the league table, this is going to open up a lot of things for us. Well, if Kolkata win today, they are going to be going up. They will be upsetting the balance of the table. And even for Hyderabad, things will not be crystal clear as long as they do not get a win for them. Right now, Kolkata, Delhi and Hyderabad still are going to have to wait for the last day to decide who qualifies. And even on the last day of the tournament, which is going to be Delhi versus Hyderabad, it is not going to be crystal clear as to who will be taking the win. And round differentials, I think, might just be playing a role in how this pans out. Because if Kolkata gets a flawless win today, which is not going to be impossible, but is also not going to be easy, they will be setting themselves up at 18 points. They will in fact leapfrog Hyderabad up as well. But Hyderabad, they have a game tomorrow against Kolkata where if they win, they should be able to keep the balance in their favor.
I agree with you, Dr. Rang. The side of Hyderabad Nawabs are at, I would say, a safe spot for themselves, that they can qualify as well as having 2 more matches in the bags. They'll be able to play it off. But for Kolkata, as you said, yes, they'll be getting 18 points today, but Delhi Dragons are also close to getting 18 points or even 18.5 for that matter if they get a flawless victory in front of Hyderabad Nawab. So it's a very tough call for the side of team Kolkata to just call it a day after whether they get a flawless victory today or not. They cannot call it a day saying that okay, we have qualified. The last match is not going to be something that we have to worry about because it's against Hyderabad Nawabs, and Hyderabad Nawabs is also playing against Delhi Dragons. And if they manage to lose or either get only 2 points today, they have to only pray and wish for the side of team Delhi Dragons to lose, because that's all that they can do. If Delhi Dragons win, it's for sure they'll be moving on to the playoffs from the next day itself. And Kolkata Tridents, after reaching so close on the points table as well as for the playoffs, will feel really bad to head home back at the last day of this league stages. So Kolkata, it's their chance today to pull it off with a flawless victory as they did in front of Rajasthan Strikers yesterday. So it's going to be a really amazing match that we'll be seeing, because Mumbai Aces right at the 6th position can pick away points. I mean, for them it's no harm or no foul. For them it's just that they get the victory for the day, as we talked about Punjab Aces, Punjab Pinnacles doing the same throughout the tournament at the ending part of the stage.
Yep, that is definitely true. Punjab also has been a team that has struggled quite a bit in the start, but after that they realized that once they got in the groove, it was not possible for them to qualify. Well, instead of feeling bad about it and not having good games, what Punjab did was they used that to practice new strategies and get better along with the teammates that they have. And well, that paid off in big returns for them, because well, they were not able to qualify, but they still took down points and denied points to so many teams that well, they denied points to a lot of teams, and that kind of did help them out get better and better at this game. And well, honestly, the biggest reason that we can give you that Punjab did make sure that you know that Punjab did make sure that they did not give up is going to be the fact that Hydroflick was sitting at just 200 kills when Solo and Rebel were sitting at over 300 and 350 respectively. And well, look at the scores now. Solo is at 460, but Hydroflick is up to 560 kills for himself. The man has absolutely gone bonkers in the last few times that we've seen him play with the team of Punjab. And that just tells you that, well, you cannot take anyone for granted. They might just change things up. They might just get a lot better than what you expected, because well, improvement is going to be something that is arbitrary, and you cannot always expect that to be a linear graph. You cannot always expect that, oh, he's going to be at XYZ rank. Well, in this much time, he can only get this big. Sometimes players are going to get better at the game much faster than what you expected. I mean, just look at Rossi. Look at Rossi 8 months back. Did you really think that Rossi could be someone who would be contesting the likes of Deathmaker and Antidote? No. But look at Rossi now. Where is Rossi right now? Rossi is at the top in Sky League, and that is just how things stand. You do not underestimate someone just because you feel that today they might not be a great player, because tomorrow they might just be the best player you will be seeing.
I agree with you, Dr. Ang. I mean, as of now, if you see, just as you compared SK Rossi, Deathmaker, and how other players have emerged, we have seen a lot of new players. There's Ghost from the side of Team Delhi. There's Rafael, who also from the side of Delhi has shown up really well. Rafa, Strix, these people are coming in. We saw the game who came in for the side of Team Rajasthan Strikers showed up really huge. So there's a lot of people making their way. Yes, in League 2021, it's SK Rossi and Deathmaker currently dominating on the leaderboard, along with MW1, who's not, I would say, has a huge distance from those two members. But nonetheless, it's all about today's match, whether Kolkata will be taking down the flawless victory or will Mumbai be the thorn in their way. For now, it's going to be the map veto, with the first map being picked. That's going to be Ascent, and the last map where Kolkata is taking things is going to be Icebox. But the away map from the side of Team Mumbai Aces is going to be Bind, and this choice of maps is really interesting. Ascent, a really good fight that we'll be seeing. Bind is going to be a fight, I would say, in terms of Mumbai Aces might be able to pull it off, but we know that the side of Team Mumbai Aces also crumble a little bit in terms of what they can do on Bind, because as teams have read what they do on Bind, the team managed to take it away each and every round. So for the teams, it'll start getting difficult So I'm looking forward to, will they be able to pull it off or not. If it gets difficult at this moment of the time, that they will be unable to pull things back, you know what's going to happen. It's not going to be any more easier for any of these teams to do like things at right now, because you understand it's not that for the side of Kolkata Tridents that they just want a victory today. They also want to make sure they dominate in terms of how they play in front of Mumbai Aces, because Mumbai Aces were one of those teams, as we said earlier, that they took upon Rajasthan Strikers, took them down as well, and from there on they've been very dominating in terms of what they could do. Yes, they did not lose the matches, win the matches completely to make their way into playoffs, because as Mumbai is trying to be a thorn today, it was also Punjab Pinnacles being a thorn for the side of Team Mumbai Aces, and that's one of the reasons. I do not rightly remember, but I think it was also Punjab Pinnacles who denied points for Mumbai Aces, which made life really hard for the side of Team Mumbai Aces to qualify. But today, again, the side of Team Mumbai Aces have a really good chance on the map of Bind to deny those bonus points. But we know the ice map of Icebox, the last map, yes, it can be a decider map based on how Bind goes. It can be a decider map, or it can be a map where the side of Kolkata Tridents can walk away with a victory. But because Icebox is a map that we know that Kolkata Tridents are really strong on, whereas Mumbai Aces do not have a great time.
Yep, I agree. I think that Mumbai Aces is not just having, I mean, Mumbai is having a great time with respect to the team that they have. They're having a lot of fun. They might not be they're not qualifying for a fact, but at the end of the day, it is also about making sure that you enjoy the game that you're playing rather than just being in a competitive and a sweaty environment all the time. And Mumbai is one of those teams that has really made sure that their players, their content creators, and their fans have had a lot of fun. We saw in the game versus Rajasthan as well. They did go in for some meme plays. They did go in for a lot of, a lot of plays that we usually do not see in competitive play. So yes, that is going to be something that is, perfect to see. But today, it is a lot more about the proper gameplay that Kolkata is going to be bringing versus what Mumbai wants to do. Because if Mumbai want to be party spoilers, say Mumbai does not want Kolkata to go through, or they want Delhi to go through, well, then the easiest way to do it is going to be playing the professional game that you did and make sure that Kolkata either has to fight really, really hard for those points, or just cannot, or just cannot get the points that they needed. So at the same time, for Kolkata, this is do or die. They do not win today's game, they're out. They're not going to be having a shot at the playoffs, and Delhi and Hyderabad are going to be going through. But at the same time, you have to remember that we are going to be seeing another game coming in from the side of Kolkata tomorrow, which is going to be against Hyderabad. So again, we will be in that same position once again.
I agree with you, Dr. Lang. I mean, for the side of Kolkata Tridents, they have back-to-back matches so that they can be prepared and they can get better every day of this league matches, that they get a really good chance to qualify and make it to the eliminator, and then from there move on to the qualifier 2 and get a high chance of moving into the grand finals. But if they manage to start losing points in front of Mumbai Aces today, which is, I would say, not highly likely, but is possible. It's not that it's impossible that any points are lost. Even the flawless can be lost, or even the whole match can also be lost, depending on how Mumbai plays. They are a team that is completely unpredictable. We can say that for Rajasthan, it's a team gameplay that comes through. For the side of Team Bengaluru Crushers, they have a really good strategy in terms of their agents and utilities that they use. The side of Hyderabad Nawabs, they look forward to a lot of utilities plays and also change their game quite often. They either go for a rush, they either go for a fast execution, they either just bait out a lot of utilities. But for the side of Mumbai Aces, the prediction is highly unlikely. They are a spontaneous team with respect to what they do for a particular map. They can be completely aggressive, or they can play completely passive. So we are not sure what will happen on the map of Ascent, because Killjoy has also been seen from Bings, Raze has also been picked from Bings from on the same map. So it's completely I would say unimaginary or unpredictable from the side of Team Mumbai Aces. But we know that there is a big brain player, Dr. Dang. That's going to be Hevan, and how he plays his team and make sure they get the victory is something that I'll be looking out for.
Well, yes, that is definitely true. Hevan is a player who is not known for his aim, but known for his brain. And well, we have seen it in action so many times. And I've said this multiple times. There are very few players whom you can look at and see the big brain happen. And well, Hevan is one of them. You look at the player just through his eyes in the spectator screen and you just see the big brain play being made. And it is so glaring that his movement is going to be so much more different. His utility usage is going to be so much more different than what you would be expecting from a regular player trying to make that play or a clutch happening. You just see it instantly. If you know what is happening, you already see the play that is being made, and things just fall in like a puzzle piece for Heaven. They just put one piece, and the entire picture is going to be crystal clear, and the round is going to be won for you. And well, if you have a brain like that, who even needs aim? Because backstabs, flanks, pushing in to get the clutch, retakes, preventing the plant, all of these are going to be called out by Hevan. And well, if he is feeling himself and he is able to pick up frags that day as well, well, then he's just unstoppable. Because if you have a player who can think that well, think that smart, and can hit heads like Deathmaker on a particular day, well, it's kind of game over for the other team.
I agree with you. This man, Evan, is that devil from the side of team Kolkata Tridents, who is just like as I mentioned, Mumbai Aces being unpredictable. This man gives his callouts so perfectly that the team of Kolkata will be ready for their kind of an execution, either on attack or in defense. They're ready, holding positions really well, and having Deathmaker as well within the team. You know, this man will get you the first frags, and he does not fear. Just like how SK Roshi with his jet just rushes into a site and keeps going. Deathmaker does the same thing because he knows he's also a jet, and jet is meant to be played in the similar manner where she clears a lot of area, gets control for their team, and then the spike can come down easily. Or even in defense, maybe Deathmaker understands, okay, it's not a rush coming towards me, so let me make sure I get a lot of area grasp. So that, just imagine in the map of Ascent, when the side of Kolkata is defending and all the players are stacked up at A, he will go out at B main, he'll look for information, and once the side of team Kolkata have information that B is clear, just imagine the wrath of 4 people holding strong at A and the 5 people trying to push in with utilities, trapwire, skilljoys, turret or nanoswarm, so many utilities being placed as trap for the side of team Mumbai. It's going to be very hard for them to enter, and that is the same thing vice versa can happen in attack. He'll just rush in from trees and take map control of A side completely and take CT control as well. So Deathmaker, along with Hevan and other teammates such as Flex, Whitehorse, as well as Meow16k, who came in as that content creator for Kolkata Tridents, has upped the game. So today on the map of Ascent, it's going to be really interesting because Meow did play a controller, Meow played a duelist, and I think she played also a initiator, I'm not sure, or maybe a sentinel she played yesterday. But all these roles that she played it really well, and we did see that change in terms of how game worked out for the side of Kolkata Tridents.
I agree. I think that the biggest thing that Kolkata has in their favor right now is going to be the fact that a Deathmaker is there. I mean, the second you have Deathmaker on your squad, you have a huge advantage. There is no other way to put it. You have Hevan on your squad. You're already not, you. I mean, you already have those big brain plays on lock. Clutch situations as well as retakes are going to be mainly two things. Yes, they are going to be a little bit of luck because if you're in a clutch situation in a 1vx like 1v3 or 1v4, skill is not going to be winning you. That gun is not going to be winning you 4 gunfights. Yes, skill is extremely important in those clutches, but the other team has to mess up. You might be Deathmaker or SK Rossi and you have 5 players in front of you. They might be irons, but if all 5 of them peek you at the same time, it doesn't matter what weapon you have, you're not going to be getting that kill. Someone has to mess up somewhere for you to get a clutch, and that is applicable in every single game, whether it be Valorant or it be any other first person shooter. A clutch situation only really becomes a clutch if the other team makes a huge mistake. That's going to be the basis of how clutches work. But when you have Hevan, those retakes are going to be something that, well, there is going to be a small bit of luck in them, but there is going to be a lot more team synergy and a lot more team strategy. And if you can get those on lockdown, which, well, Hevan is definitely going to be having, because he already understands the way players are going to be moving. He already understands the positions that the players are going to be taking and what is going to be the best and the most efficient way in terms of time, how to get them. Because Normal round, not a retake situation. Time is not so much that you want to save as a defender. Retake situations are going to be somewhere you want to use utility. And well, in a retake situation, time is going to be of the essence because, well, if you don't have 7 seconds on the board, you are not going to be getting a defuse irrespective of how many players you take out. So you have to make sure that in retakes, do not prioritize utility, prioritize time. And well, in a normal situation, prioritize utility, not so much on time.
I agree with you. I mean, when the clock ticks and the spike has gone down, it's going to be really difficult, and it's an added pressure. Along with, you understand, when you have a constant sound that's pinging you, you need to be able to focus on how fast that sound is being taken, because that is also one of those cues on whether you have time to fight as well as then do a defuse, or would you have to run for save if you have a really good weaponry in your hand. So they need to pay attention to the spike as well as the number of players, their locations, and how they are trying to either peek them or throw you down utility. So it needs to be a little bit fast, timed perfectly in where they're looking at, especially when they're trying to go in for a retake. They should make sure, if they're at a 1vx, as you mentioned, 1vx, 1v3 or a 1v2 situation, they need to make sure they are trying to fight with a one person while they have cover from another angle, because most of the times on a retake situation, it will be where there'll be a crossfire being held, and it is really difficult to play that crossfire because one person goes down, another person immediately peaks. So it's really important for these teams to watch their backs. But in the meantime, how they will be doing it and what kind of agents will be coming, for that kind of information, we'll be moving on to the agent selection screen for the map of Ascent.
Well, map of Ascent is going to be on, and well, we have the players in Mumbai is going to be having Strix, is going to be having, oh boy, that's going to be an impossible name to figure out. Lucifer, do you have any idea who?
That's Chosen.
All right, that's Chosen. All right, cool. All right, that Q really threw me off. All right, he wanted that Q to be like an, oh, all right, that's going to be fine. Then Chosen is going to be looking to get that Omen for himself. Binks, Not Fox, and Millie are going to be playing from the side of Mumbai, while for the side of Kolkata, it is going to be Rexy, Deathmaker, Hevan, Flex, agent, and Meow 16K. So we have a very interesting lineup from both these teams. And well, as far as things go, Flex on the Phoenix, Deathmaker on the Jet, Binks on the Yoru, Rexy on the Sova, Strix on the Jet, Chosen on the Omen, Not Fox on the Killjoy, Millie on the Sova, and we're still waiting for Hevan. Oh wait, Hevan is going to be getting the Killjoy, and Meow is going to be getting the Omen.
Okay, Binks, I know I want to see a lot of Yoru, but it coming in from Binks, I'm a little bit surprised, just like you, Dr. Dang, because that Yoru coming in on the map of Ascent, not really seen much. Yes, he did come on Bind. I think he did come on Icebox as well as Split, but coming on the map of Ascent, I'm not sure on how they can play. Yes, that Lurk can be played, but they're starting off on defense, and they're only playing one Sentinel on Fox, who plays a Cypher. Yes, Killjoy is really good on the site of B and can hold the site really strong and prevent the entry from happening. That might be the case, but they're playing with a double duelist, a single initiator, a single. I mean, this meta is, we have seen a lot of times. The same goes from the end of the attackers as well. Double duelist, that is going to be your Flex as well as Deathmaker. So a really interesting lineup. But I'm wondering what the side of Team Mumbai Aces is bringing in with this Yoru, because I would love to see some insane plays coming in from Yoru.
Well, from the side of Binks, that Yoru pick is going to be very interesting, but we'll get to know about that in a moment. Right now, it is going to be time for the round to start off. And well, quickly, we can get the predictions that everyone thinks. Who do you think is going to be taking the map of Ascent and with what scoreline? But as Deathmaker, he is going to be slowly sneaking up. The first smoke comes out. It looks like Chosen knows that there is going to be a push coming into tree. The counter smoke comes out. He's going to be playing right inside that, but Deathmaker will make sure that he does not survive for too long. He gets one, but Binks and Strix swing out from that smoke, and they pick up Deathmaker and Flex at the same time. And unfortunately, Meow is not going to be knowing that there is a player right behind her, and she is going to get taken out. It's all down to Rexy and the Sova to get this clutch in.
Yep, and already so many people lost. The entry and the start was really good from Deathmaker, but you saw Binks, he was holding in really well and won with just a classic and Ghost in front of him. You know how you feel with the Ghost. It's a little bit of accurate compared to the other weapons that you can play with in terms of a pistol. So a really good try coming in from Heaven, and already on the CT position. That was a really interesting try coming in from Heaven, but nonetheless, a very quick first round that the side of Team Mumbai Aces managed to pull, and that Yoru might be that something that these teams were not ready for. I mean, if Bing starts rushing in with his Yoru, we know his aim is really good, but if he managed to pull off an amazing Yoru flank, the side of Team Kolkata will have a tough time in grabbing all those points, because it's not going to be easy against an Yoru, because Yoru is an agent which you've highly talked about in terms of him being a solo agent and can do anything and everything that an initiator can do, a controller can do, as well as a duelist can do. He's a 3 role packed duelist, but you need to also play him smart. If you just think that he's a duelist and run out with his flashes, bye bye is what the opponent is going to say to you. So Yoru is a very interesting pick, and Binks has started things off really strong for the side of Mumbai.
I completely agree. I think that it really just goes up to show that Yoru is not picked so much because people are not still comfortable playing him, or they haven't figured out how to play him. Because there is one thing trying to use an agent for for their utility, and that is fine. For example, we know a lot of people who use Sova or a Viper simply because of the utility that they provide to the table. But there are a lot of players who play the Sova or the Viper because they individually have figured out how to play that role really, really well. And well, if you can do that with a Yoru as well, you will be a very, very strong Yoru main for your team. And well, honestly, I've gone up against a few Yorus in matchmaking that understood how to play the agent, and trust me, it was a very, very problematic situation for all of us. Despite having 5 people in the lobby, all of us giving callouts to each other and trying to win the game, we still had a problem dealing with that Euro, simply because we could never pinpoint where the TP went off. We could hear the TP, yes, we could understand that the TP happened, but we never knew where he would be relocating, or whether those footsteps that we were hearing were actual footsteps or were they fake out. I don't know. We don't know about that. Or the flashes that come through out of nowhere and suddenly are going to be blinding you for the next 3 seconds. Those are not going to be helpful as well. So as far as things go in terms of what we have seen from Yoru, I am very excited to see whether Binks is going to be showing us something new as well.
I agree with you, Dr. Ring, and just like you mentioned, the opponent you were fighting with the Yoru. The same thing actually happened to me on the map of Ascent itself, where it was a 1v1 situation, and I had a really good position in Pisa where he never knew about my location, and he was coming in from CT because I knew that he took out a teammate from there and he was making his way to CT, and he was the attacker. He was going in for a spike plant. I knew his position. He took out his fake out. He managed to put down those footsteps, and I thought, oh, he's running into side. This is my chance. Let me head into market and get that kill as he enters the first or the second lane. And that was a fake out that he did with his footsteps. I just was completely blindly baited myself to those footsteps. So Yoru, a very interesting pick coming through, and I'm looking forward to, will this be something that he'll be able to pull it off?
Oh, well, it looks like Lucifer is dealing with a few technical issues. All right, you're back.
I'm here. Let me just fix that.
All right, no worries. So till the point that Lucifer fixes the webcam that is causing some problems, it is going to be interesting to see as to how the game is going to be going forward. So far, so good from the side of Mumbai. I believe they were able to take the pistol round in their favor. That is going to give them a big advantage going forward. And well, if that is going to be the case, here is my beautiful, or rather here, this side. This is going to be my beautiful co-caster.
Yep. Well, for the time being, there's some glitch that happened with my webcam. Even I'm like, wait, what? That's okay. I'm just fixing that. That should be online in a moment. But nonetheless, as you were saying, this is pick coming in from these teams is going to be interesting. I mean, yes, Binks is trying something new, being that IGL, but pulling off an Yoru, as you said, this is going to be a very interesting fight that Binks is going to put up on the side of Kolkata, and Kolkata might just have a hard try or fight pulling this off.
I think so too as well, because again we've had this situation where teams start off really well on the map, but after that they kind of trail off, and it does not it does not work out in their favor at the end of the game. We've seen this again with Mumbai, we've seen this with Punjab, we've seen this with Kolkata as well, that they start the map off really well, but along the way the teams just slowly get better at the map, and they figure out what the other team's trying to do, and well, the counter strategies come through, and they are unfortunately not able to lock the win out for themselves. Well, for Kolkata, there is not going to be any margin for error, because again, as we've said, they make a single mistake, they drop any points out of the 2 games that are left, the one today and the one tomorrow against Hyderabad. That's it, game over for them. Playoffs are going to be only a dream for the side of Kolkata, and that is something that a lot of people are going to be not happy about. They want their favorite team in, some of them supporting Delhi, some of them supporting Hyderabad, and some supporting Kolkata. So for every single one of the fans and the players of Hyderabad, Delhi, as well as Kolkata, it is not going to be an easy 2 days, because they are going to be sitting right at the edge, and a single mistake is either going to mean that they fall into the crevice, or they might just survive.
They might be able to. I mean, for the side of Kolkata, right now, pistol round, they did not win it, but it can be something that they easily make a fast comeback on. I mean, I guess we had some technical glitch which we're just sorting it out for all the viewers. Don't worry, we have paused the match and we will be resuming instantly. Just give us a couple of minutes for just make our way back in. But in the meantime, as we were talking about the match, Dr. Dang, the interesting pick coming through from both these teams. I mean, interesting for the side of Kolkata just to fight out in front of Mumbai Aces. For the side of Team Mumbai Aces, they have the pick in terms of completely different agents coming through, different lineup and play coming through. So the fight will be really interesting to watch. But who do you think has the upper hand with the kind of agents coming in? Is it that the usual pick coming for the side of Team Kolkata Tridents will be the upper hand, or do you think it's going to be Mumbai Aces with that interesting new couple of agents coming in, pull something off brilliant?
Well, I think that the agent selection that we are seeing from the side of Mumbai is going to be something that, well, is either going to really favor them or is going to be having a lot of issues. And as far as things go, as far as what we have thought about, what we have seen so far, it is going to be that Mumbai will have a very interesting game going forward. And as far as things go, Lucifer's back.
Yep, I am back. My camera is all right now. I was surprised. I mean, I think my camera just got disconnected from power. But in the meantime, as I made back, the game is also back, and let's just head because it's getting interesting and better.
Well, yes, and with that, we are going to be seeing an eco being coming out from the side of Kolkata. Except Deathmaker, no one is going to be investing in any weapons except the utility that they need, as Deathmaker will be picking up a ghost and a half shield for himself. So with that out of the way, we are going to be starting off with the game. The second round's on board, the recon comes through. Rexy is going to be picking up an ult point just for good measure, just to make sure that maybe he should be able to get a play here or there. We have seen that Binks has already tethered his gate crash to some position, but Strix is going to be collecting a frag, as Binks is just, well, he's just going to be waiting to see whether he can get someone or not.
Yeah, but look at Strix. He's picked up already 2 kills off the board and he's looking for more, but Hevan will find a kill on Shozen, and now Shozen going down, who had an advantage in terms of weaponry, will manage to go down. Strix is slowly backing off, but Deathmaker along with Flex, who had made their way into side, Deathmaker will get one pick off, but Millie is still here, has a better weaponry to play with, but Deathmaker, he only needs head. He spots Hevan, picks one more off at mid, and yes, Deathmaker is very low. Shock touch coming through. This might be his end, but he'll manage to dodge all of them, but not Millie's bullet for long.
Well, Millie is going to be picking up that frag. We're down to a 2v2, so as far as eco rounds go, a very good round, but a weapon is going to get recovered by Flex. Well, he might not be Deathmaker, but Flex is still very, very confident on that ghost. He's going to be going in for that spike. He knows his teammate is going to be rotating all the way from tree to make sure that he can stop that backstab towards door, and Flex will only have to worry about heaven. He has a flash ready. He's going to go in for that. Millie is going to be completely blind, but Yoru is going to be completely blind, but Millie will be able to pick up that frag, but Hevan is just going to sneak up. He's going to spot one player. He gets that frag. The Killjoy Swarm Grenade is going to get dropped. The time is going to run out. The turret is something that at this point of time Binks is going to have to deal with. But as the Swarm Grenade goes out, another one comes out. Binks is going to stick that half defuse, but down to 25 HP. He needs to get that frag. He cannot delay time anymore. It looks like he will try to stick it, but Hevan comes in from the back and gets a 4K. The force, or rather, not even a force, the eco round going in the favor of Kolkata. And what a way to get the score equalized.
Man, that was just Strix playing really smart. He did pick off those first two frags, but then his own teammate, who also managed to rush and take much control, goes down to Hevan, and Hevan makes advantage and picks off 2 of his own and picks 4 people in total to make it a 4K and clutch the round. And you can see Hevan standing strong on the forefront of Kolkata Tridents on the second round of this first map. And now with 1-1 as an equalizer right after the bonus that the side of Team Mumbai got, Mumbai does not look great now because they are going in for an eco, and now Strix also receives some damage at mid.
Well, yes, Deathmaker as well as Flex, I believe, are going to be in a tough position, but this time Hevan gets Binks and gets taken out by NotFox. That's a huge frag because the Classic gets rid of a player with the Phantom, and that's a free weapon for the side of Mumbai.
That's one weapon that they have upgraded to, but Flex and Deathmaker have made their way into A side, and look at Deathmaker's position. He's taken up so much control, and there should be one free kill on Millie that he can pull it off. Yes, he does. He spots one more player, but Strix dodges. But look at Deathmaker. He's going to ADS. He wants that kill. He's not backing off for his team. Along with now, I guess, Flex, who has together join that force, and look at the spike. It's slowly and easily making rotate, but in the meantime it looks like Deathmaker and Flex will be able to sweep everybody, and it's all up to Fox, who's just surviving at 4 HP and for some reason has not upgraded the rifle still.
Well, either he has picked up that weapon and given it to one of his teammates, or he just did not pick up that weapon. But either ways, Deathmaker is going to be getting a 3K for himself and making sure that Kolkata get the round advantage in the map of Ascent. And well, giving up complete side of complete heaven, I don't think was the best play that could have been made. And again, it just comes down to the fact that if you are able to keep pushing in and maintain that much map presence, that is going to be huge. But looking at the economy, zeros across the board for everyone except Strix, who has 200 left in the bag. That is going to be a very, very daunting prospect for the side of Mumbai.
Yep, it's a very important round as well for them to pull this off, because as you mentioned, 0 on the creds. If they lose this round, it's going to be another eco which they'll not be happy about. Yes, Strix has an ultimate to play with, but that's going to be used in the next round most probably, or if a couple of picks come through. With the drone coming in from Millie to reveal the 5 people who are standing at A main, might be something that he might be looking for, but the ultimate comes in from Flex. Flex is going in. Flex will manage to pick off Shozen, but his ultimate will take down. He'll be happy because he got an advantage. Strix picks off 1, picks off 2. Deathmaker will pick off Millie. Back to player equalizer. In the side of Team Mumbai needs to go for a retake after the spike land.
Well, the 2 flashes come through, but Biggs is unfortunately not going to be getting anything but Strix with 4 huge kills before Nya16 comes and gets the final frag. But the spike is going to be an open plant. He will have to make sure that he plays for the peak. The peak does come through, but NotFox knows that Millie, or rather Meow, is going to be playing for that peak. And well, this time the Killjoy turret is going to favor the side of Mumbai, because well, Meow had to get rid of the turret before she could get rid of NotFox, and that is exactly what is going to net Mumbai another round on board. A good effort coming in from Binks, but Strix with that 4K really turned the tide in the favor of Mumbai for that round.
Yep, I mean, it was all, as you mentioned, it's Strix who pulled off 4 kills back to back from that tree position. If he wasn't there, it would have been a very dominating round that the side of Team Kolkata would have pulled off, because you saw how Deathmaker also pushed into side. He picked off he picked one for his own and brought that advantage back for his team, but nonetheless they've lost that round. But as they won 2 rounds back to back, their creds seem good. They go in for a full buy, but for the side of team Mumbai, they lost 4 rifles and they would have to again go for a full buy, because of which they don't have that many creds and they have bought inspectors. But now it's looking like a very slow game. Deathmaker has pushed into mid. He'll punish Bing as Binks comes out. It was just, I would say, a timing that worked out in the side of team Kolkata as well as on Deathmaker's end.
Yeah, that is true. Sometimes timing is just going to be in the favor of one of the players or the other. But right now, it is going to be, well, Spectres on the side of Millie, and that is not going to be great. The Killjoy lockdown is going to get enforced on the B side, as it looks like the players are looking to push into mid, but Strix on the flank coming in from A main is going to be able to get flex. That's a huge frag. The Phoenix off the board means that the side of Kolkata is going to be not having the firepower, and well, Notfox is not going to be helping that. One with the Swarm and one with the Phantom is going to net him 2 frags, as it's all down to Meow16 to get this 1v4 clutch in. Now there are 2 players low on HP. Millie is going to be on the backstab. She might get called out. Meow is going to get that frag for herself, as Shozen is going to be very low on HP. Not to mention that Notfox at 2 HP is going to be extremely low.
Oh no, the turret causing a lot of problems. Puts Meow on an 18 HP. He's going in for a quick ultimate, but Strix is fast with the dash. He pulls off that kill on Meow, and there's nowhere for her to run, as this is the 3rd round that Mumbai managed to pull off after 5 rounds.
Well, after 5 rounds, Mumbai is going to be getting the advantage, as you can say, once again. And well, full buys for the side of Mumbai, so this is looking to be a very close game. We see Mumbai take the advantage, we see Kolkata pull it back, and then we see Mumbai take it back once again. And except for 3 players on the side of Kolkata, they're not going to be able to afford buys.
Kolkata, I mean, they do have creds on a couple of players. They might be able to pull it off, but they understand, let's just go for 1 eco so that our creds are back to normal and we can go in for a complete full buy, rather than forcing the situation and ending up again with a bad cred for the next round. For nonetheless, for them, they have already 2 rounds in their back pocket. Deathmaker has his ultimate to play with, but he also has a rifle that he can play with for this round along with Flex. So if they manage to do opening statements here, Millie receives the damage, but it should be an owl drone that she'll be sending it out to look forward to more information and prevent the push as much as possible, and that is what is happening as they take down that owl drone.
Well, yes, I really think that it's going to come down to the first pick or the first blood that comes through, because again, that is going to be Deathmaker. Strix did spot him out, but he is going to be getting, well, he's going to get lit up quite a bit, as he's going to be switching over from that Phantom to the Ghost, as well as his ultimate, giving Rexy his weapon, because, well, Rexy is going to be at full HP as well as shields, and that is going to be an advantage for him. He does not want to give away his weapon that easy, and well, that is just going to be good utility usage as well as economy management from the side of Deathmaker. Now he's going to be right under heaven. The first shock darts come through. Deathmaker just about able to dodge them, and well, they are going to be getting the spike down. The recon should be coming through. Every single player inside is going to be having a problem with that, but Deathmaker, especially low on HP, is someone who will have to pay great attention to what he peeks and what he doesn't. Notfox is going to be coming in. He gets that first frag. The lockdown is going to get destroyed by the Hunter's Fury. Deathmaker roaches for the drop. Biggs gets in. Flex gets that kill onto Shozen. He gets Millie as well. Notfox is going to get Flex, but Meow comes in, gets Notfox. Biggs one onto 9. Meow 16, and it's all down to Rexy in a 1v1 against Binks. Both of them going to be a little low, but Binks is the one to land that shot, and well, he is unfortunately not going to be able to get the diffuser.
A good try, and it was just really well played in terms of time. This is what we talked about, Dr. Dang. As we were about to go, we talked about when the clock is ticking in, you need to make sure your post-plant retake needs to be a bit faster. If not, you'll end up losing a lot of time, because of which even if you have advantage in terms of picking off players, you'll not be having enough time in defusing the spike itself. So that's what just happened in this round, and it brings back to an equalizer for the side of Team Kolkata Tridents. But buys should be good from both these teams for this round. But after this, the side of Mumbai Aces will be a little bit low in terms of creds.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case. Mumbai will have, they will have a few problems here and there. But as far as things stand for the side of Kolkata and Mumbai, they're looking at very equal footing. You have the ultimate from the Yoru as well as from the Omen and the Hunter's Fury on the Sova on Mumbai, while you have the run it back on Flex on Kolkata, which means that at least one side is going to be something that you will be able to clear out very easily. Now Hevan getting that frag onto Notfox. Millie is going to get taken out. Flex is also going to fall. It's all down to Strix as well as Binks to get this. And well, both of them at 30 and 33 HP is going to be extremely difficult for them to clutch this out. I mean, they can do it in a 2v4, but it is going to be very unlikely. And now with a 1v4, well, it's only a matter of time. And there you go. It's going to be Deathmaker packing up Strix in a gift box. And that is a round advantage for the side of Kolkata.
And as we said, the round advantage coming in for the side of Team Kolkata, that means Cred's not going to be great from the side of Team Mumbai. And you can already see there's a Sheriff coming in from Binks, and that should be the case from most of the members from the side of Team Mumbai Aces. But nonetheless, a really good try, I would say, from the side of Mumbai Aces. Strix with his Blade Storms does not connect with Deathmaker. If he did, it would have been kind of fighting chance. But Strix and Binks were spread out in two different positions, which was highly unlikely for them to work out together and bring back the round. But nonetheless, now with an eco, they should look forward to do as much as damage possible, or even look forward to pick off a couple of free kills. But Binks here trying to take down the turret, might go down to Hevan, but Hevan with his one taps, he's also trying to pick off one person there. But look at one person who's already made his way into the cubby or the corner at B main. That's going to be deadly. But Millie goes down to Flex's Molly in hot hands. Prove that it's going to be better for the side of Team Kolkata to start things off here at A.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case. And well, this time Mumbai is going to have to deal with the man disadvantage. Rexy is going in for that plant. Notfox is going to be right under or right on Heaven, as Flex as well as Deathmaker are looking to contest this at the same time. The tether is going to be there, get placed, but Binks will not be able to use it because Flex just comes in. He just rushes in along with Deathmaker. They have the confidence. Meow16 getting another one. It's all down to Strix with a frenzy in hand. His position's called out and he will be getting a frag onto Flex. He does not, unfortunately, get a frag onto Deathmaker, and that will be 2-round advantage for the side of Kolkata.
He managed to dink Deathmaker with a bullet, but you know, the weaponry on the side of Deathmaker was better, as well as this is the second time Deathmaker is picking him off. But in the meantime, for all the viewers, now that we are heading into full buy and the operator is being seen, if you guys have any questions as viewers, as in terms of how the match is happening, what is the qualifiers or anything like that, feel free to shoot your questions with the hashtag #AskSkyEsports on Twitter, and we'll be picking some of them and getting those answers for you. But for now, Strix with the operator is holding down trees, but look at the players, they are nowhere ready to contest it immediately.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case. But as far as we have seen the side of Mumbai, they're not a team who likes to take things, you know, in a way like this. They do not usually get flustered by a scoreline like this. But Millie, she's going to be holding on. The attacker Killjoy lockdown on B, I believe, is just going to be the distraction that was needed. But Deathmaker, he does not miss out in checking corners. He's going to pick up Millie. Strix gets one frag for himself, and that is going to put us at equalization. But again, it is going to come down to the fact that the retake needs to be perfect coming through. The ult comes through. Binks is going to be checking for information, calls it out for Strix. He gets that one frag. He knows exactly where Deathmaker is. He's trying to get a frag, but Binks runs out of time, and Deathmaker is not going to be looking to, well, get any of these players away with a life, as they are all going to be falling to the hands of Deathmaker as well as Meow16. It's all down to Strix to make sure that they can get this, well, either save this operator or just die. And well, Deathmaker is not going to be allowing him to do that, because he is just going to come in from Heaven and give a peek, and that's it. 3 rounds advantage for the side of Kolkata.
Look at what Hevan was doing. Hevan was literally toying Strix with that turret. He's like, you want to go back and save that operator? Just say hello to my turret before you head on to your way in a different path, because that's not going to let you. And you can see already the side of Mumbai is back on another eco. And for the side of Team Kolkata, they've had a really good start after a couple of losses in the start of this matchup. But on attack, they're feeling really good. Now with a 3-round advantage, the side of Kolkata are looking forward to make it even better, as Deathmaker Deathmaker with a very quick first frag coming in his favor. But Binks again, you can see he's at mid. He might be able to pick one off, and he does pick it on Rexy, and 5 HP on the opponent might get difficult as Shozen picks one. Deathmaker picks off Millie, but Binks is still surviving at B with 5 HP.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case, but so far it is looking like we are going to be having an eco on the side of NotFox. Well, he does not have the best position with respect to that Sheriff, and well, that is going to be proven as the run it back from Flex is not going to help out NotFox or the side of, well, the Sova that was playing over there, and it's all going to be down to the one player. Shozen, he has a Spectre to work with, but again, his position's probably known. There is a Killjoy.
There can only be one hero.
Wait, there is going to be a Killjoy. A Swarm Grenade right at that corner, but Kolkata, they are not looking to slow down at all.
They're not at all. I mean, look at them. The side of Team Kolkata is just picking off players so fast that the side of Mumbai Aces do not have a time to react, but they did manage to pick off 3 people out of the board and managed to pull things back to a 3v3 situation. But once 3v3 came in, you saw Flex got 2 free kills, I would say, with his ultimate. Whenever you're going on an ultimate, it's just a second chance that he has, and that's going to be the case that the side of Team Kolkata will be walking away with. But before they start the match, it looks like a couple of players are waiting for their way to make comeback, as Mio16k is the only one trying to play as much as possible. I think it was a DC that happened, but they also have reconnected is what the confirmation we have.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case, but again, it just comes down to the fact that sometimes these issues do happen. But right now, we have the, well, it looks like 4 players are going to be AFK.
This is nice. I mean, now you look at them, there's slowly a couple of players have already started moving. That's going to be Deathmaker as well as Flex. They did have those weaponry from the previous round. Yes, the people who went down do not have or hold those kind of weapons to play around with. But now Deathmaker already popping his ultimate might be able to pull it off again. And Millie with this Odin pick, she needs to play it really smart, because that kind of an investment of 32,000 creds, I mean 3200 creds, is going to be a lot for her to keep hold of. And if they do not manage to pull it off against Deathmaker's blade, it's going to get difficult. Shozen is speaking. Shozen will connect on Flex. No, it will be Flex connecting on Shozen, and this should be a kill that Flex should pull off. As Flex pull it off, Deathmaker enters into the side, and he's going to look for another one. But now the side of Team Kolkata is looking forward to pull this off as much as possible. And look at where Hevan is. He's all the way at B, and Deathmaker already picking one kill. It's with 9 seconds on the clock. Deathmaker might be able to do something, but the op will pick him off. As look at the spike, it's all the way at B.
Well, yes, it is going to be all the way at B, but Rexy, he's coming in slowly. The spike's already down, and he's trying to hold this rotate for his team. Now, as for Hevan, he's going to get pushed off guard by that Hunter's Fury. It does not connect, but the tether comes through. Binks is going to get taken out. That's an important frag. Hevan with another one can turn the match around, or the round around, in his favor. Now Rexy, he comes into main, gets that drone out, but he is going to get pinged by the player that is going to be Millie. Now Millie goes into a site. She does not know that there is someone behind her. She's going to get pinged, and Hevan lands that headshot. Had that ping not come through, that would probably have basically been a wall hack shot. But this time Strix is not going to be allowing the team to survive, because despite losing that round, he picks up that final frag, and well, that is going to be, well, that is just going to be 8-3 for the side of Kolkata.
Look at Kolkata. I mean, a couple of players were DC'd. They did not go in for a pause and still managed to pull off the round. I mean, that's just brilliant to say that you're just not at all giving information. You saw they were holding B for so long and still unable to know that there were a lot of people AFK. That's one of the reasons that Deathmaker pushes out, gets information when the attack is not happening towards his side. But now again, Hevan is playing that lurk and is still looking for some free information. But look at this two fake footsteps already used from Binks. He's going to use a lot of utilities very early, but without looking for any free kills.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case. This is going to be the final round, so everyone is investing whatever creds they have into weaponry as well as utility. And well, Deathmaker, he's going to take some damage, but he waits for the dash. He does not give his position away, but it does not work out because he gets stuck on his teammate's outline. But Hevan picks up a frag. It's going to come down to the remaining 3 players of Mumbai to make this an 8-4 split, something that is workable, but the attacker Killjoy is lockdown is going to get placed. Not Fox, he has one in his back pocket, and if there is a time to use one, it's going to be right now. But the rotate has been called in, and as a recon is going to get used up, they know that the players are eventually going to make their way from CT, but Not Fox and Strix not going to be in good positions to deny this. But Not Fox, he gets that kill on the Deathmaker, the instant headshot coming through. Flex is going to get that frag, and well, Strix, at this point, why are you running to try and save that operator? It's going to be the last round. He falls in the end to Rexy, and that is going to be 9-3 as a split coming in from the side of Kolkata.
I mean, Kolkata, that just goes to say how beautifully they're just managing to play. You look at that. They've understood that the side of Team Mumbai certain times do very early rotates depending on what happens. And if they manage to pull off a couple of people here and there and split them off, the side of Kolkata have a really good chance in picking those free frags for themselves. And that's what they managed to do. But before we head into the second half, there's a quick question from Nexus. What can be your dream team from these entire league stage? By the way, production OP in the chat, yaar, well done at Skyesports India. Thank you, Nexus, for that. The production team is working a lot right behind us. Yes, the forefront is the game, as well as we who keep constantly talking about what are the things going on, but we know what the production is doing constantly and keeping a watch on what are the things that's happening. So thank you for this. But Dr. Dang, what do you think about this question? What can be your dream team?
Well, why don't you start off first? Why don't you start off, Lucifer, and tell us what do you think is going to be your dream team?
For me, I will write out of the league. I mean, I would not even make any changes to the players. I would rightly say that my dream team would be Bengaluru Crushers, because yes, one of the reasons, yes, I stay in Bengaluru, but not only for that reason. I love the city I'm in, but also for those players. There's a lot of big brain players. SK Rossi, for one of the reasons that is already on that team, goes to me for Bengaluru Crushers.
Well, for Bangalore Crushers, all right. So for me, I think that it is going to be well, I feel that it is a lot more about individual players getting chosen rather than an entire team. So, well, I think I'm going to go in with Rossi, Deathmaker. We've got 2 duelists. We need a controller. So Hevan. So Rossi, Deathmaker, Hevan, right to ace, and Hellranger or Hellfighter.
Okay. Interesting picks coming in. That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 2 duelists. You have 2, I would say, initiators. I mean, Hevan plays the controller or an initiator, and you were about to go for another initiator or a controller. I mean, might be really good, but we also see that certain times Sentinels might be very important, just as lightning fast or even skills who manages to play that really well.
Which is why. So my 2 duelists are going to be Deathmaker and Rossi. Hevan for the big brain and the IGLing on the Sentinel or on the controller. Right to ace on that initiator or the controller, as you said. So that's just going to give us 2. And then we have Hellfighter as the Sentinel.
That's going to be a nice pick coming through. I mean, if we can make like players like this play, I mean, that's just a hard ask. I mean, even if we can think about it, that's just more than happy. It's like just our dream team that we pick out. But now to start things off, it's going to be, I guess, Strix who picked off the really first kill from the side of Kolkata Tridents. That's Hevan going down. That's the IGL and a very good pick coming through. But look at Deathmaker. He's on a backstab and nobody's reading that in a pistol round there'll be an early backstab. Oh no, my bad. It was Shozen who's already ready for that. He reads, he spots out Deathmaker. Now there are 3 people trying to fight Deathmaker. It's going to be very bad for Deathmaker to pull that.
Well, he's going to get 1, he's going to get 2, will he get a 3rd? He's going to pull that reload, but that is going to be what causes him to lose his life. But the TP comes through. Binks is going to just about dodge that paranoia, but the drop comes in. Rexy is insane. He gets 2 again, but Millie gets Rexy and Flex gets that final kill, and with 2 people surviving for the side of Kolkata, they get this round on board as Kolkata go up 10-3 on the map of Ascent.
I would give this round to be changed from the side of team Deathmaker itself. I mean, look at him. He was on that rotate, on the pistol round. Yes, Shozen was rightly looking after that backstab, but Deathmaker managing to still pull off 2 kills. And if Binks would not have wide swing there, I think Binks would have also had a really good chance to go down to Deathmaker with a 3k. But nonetheless, the side of team Mumbai managed to try and pull it off as much as possible, but with that drop coming in from rafters to hell was one of the reasons they could not manage to pull off, because there was also players picked off at site near Gen. But now with that bonus point coming in, they should be looking forward to this as an advantage, as Hevan will pick him off along with Deathmaker playing together. Now with Binks going down, that duelist, I'm not sure still why they're all playing together, with Yoru being the case. As Hevan picks one, Hevan knows another person is right here, might be going in for that. The recon will be destroyed, and look at them, they're not at all backing off. Deathmaker and Hevan will manage to clear off 3 people at A main, but 2 people manage to enter site.
Well, they are going to get taken out because Shozen is going to get that kill onto Flex, but Deathmaker with 1 and 2 to get a 3k for himself. It is going to be 11-3 in the favor of Kolkata, and this team is really, really insane right now. They're all just fragging out insanely well, and Mumbai is having a tough time figuring out what's happening.
Yep, and the side of Team Kolkata already with 11 points are looking so strong, and with 11-3 being the split, it's going to get difficult. But as you said, Yoru, if Yoru is playing at a certain position, I don't think a lot of players need to stack along with him. He can play himself really well. Yes, maybe 1 or 2 utilities that can help him, but not a lot of them playing together. But now it looks to be a very fast B execution coming in. Flex picks one, gets instantly traded out by Millie. Deathmaker is looking for a backstab. Meow 16k picks one, and this should be around that the side of Team Kolkata again managed to pull it off and bring it back to 12 rounds. But no, is what the opponent says. Millie and Shozen pick 1-1 for themselves and make it to player advantage.
Well, there is a Vandal right in front of Hevan. He should be able to recover that, but he'll get pinged by that Sova Owl drone coming through, as his turret is also going to get destroyed. He does take some damage from that shock dart, but it looks like they will be able to recover this weapon very, very easily. Now, as for Hevan, he has to go in, but Deathmaker is the one that gets that trade. Hevan is going to be the one to receive the damage, but it's going to be down to Shozen as well as Binks to make this work. The Swarm Grenade is going to force Shozen to be in a different position than he would want to be in, as the players do line up, but this is not going to be a frag. Hevan gets one. It's all down to Binks. He's going to spot that head, but the time is going to be running out. The classic comes out and Binks gets that final frag. Well, that's going to be a round on board for the side of Mumbai.
Oh my god, that was just so close to being at match point. Both Binks as well as Hevan missing their Vandal shots. Binks was just a wee bit quicker in pulling out his pistol and managed to hit the right clicks really fast on Hevan, and that was the reason. Otherwise, it should have been match point already for the side of Kolkata. Nonetheless, the side of Kolkata is looking forward to make this the match point right here, right now, but it is also their last buy, so they need to be really ready for this with Deathmaker's ultimate also ready.
Well, yes, the shock dart comes through, and Binks and Strix both going to be taking some damage for themselves. That is not going to matter too much. But Binks, he has this ultimate. He's going to walk all the way in towards side. There's Meow 16 in the backside. He might just be running out of dimensional drift. And yes, Meow 16 with 2 Rexy with 1 gets taken out by Millie with the damage. Has been done. Millie is going to get flexed. That's a huge frag, but Fox is going to pull one back. We're down to a 2v2. This might just work out, but Deathmaker on the backstab. He's going to be getting Millie, and it's all down to Not Fox. He has a Vandal and a half shield. The first Swarm Grenade goes out, but he is going to be running out of time. He gets that kill on Deathmaker. This might just be a clutch happening. The alarm bot is going to get placed. 6 bullets. The reload comes through. It's the Killjoy versus the Killjoy. It's Hevan versus Not Fox. Who is going to be coming out on top? The first Killjoy. Swarm Grenade goes out from the side of Hevan. Maybe he has another one in his back pocket, but it's just going to be distraction, because Not Fox doesn't realize Hevan is going to push him from the other side of lane.
Unfortunate, and Hevan now will manage to clutch it and bring it to a match point. As I said, Kolkata is not looking forward to let go of this advantage that they have now with already match point. This is what I'm wondering why Binks is playing this together with his team as that Euro. And also, this is the second time he was unable to quickly TP before his dimensional drift got over. He did not go in for that gate crash where he had, I guess, placed it behind for him to make a comeback, and runs out of time, and Meow will manage to pick him off. And now with, look at them, not great by scattering for as much as they can pull off, because they know this is the do or die and the last round. And again, they're looking forward to make this a fast execution again with the shock dart coming. A little bit of a damage might be done. Yes, only a slither, but Binks will start things off. He picks one. Strix is very close. He might be able to pick more for his team, and he is going in, but the corner needs to be checked, or if it's going to get difficult. Let's see if he gets one, but Strix will manage to pick him back off. Little disadvantage as Heaven tries to pick one. Millie will trade that, and it's all up to Deathmaker with this blade storm.
Well, he can make this definitely work out. He's going to get that first frag. This is the situation that we've seen so many clutches taking place. He's going to spot the second player. He misses that storm blade, but he knows that there is going to be someone close to him as well. Now that is going to be the Phantom coming out. He realizes that at this point of time, the Phantom is going to be a lot more reliable, where it looks like he switches back to that storm blade. The spike goes down. He spots the head of Strix. He's going to spot the Omen as well, and a clutch again. Deathmaker, you insane. I don't have words. How does he do this consistently? The second the first frag dropped, I knew the kill was coming through, the clutch was coming through, and that is going to be Deathmaker for you. The storm blades, the clicks, the right clicks, that is picture perfect Deathmaker. And well, exactly how we predicted it. It's going to be Kolkata coming out all guns blazing, and they get that kill and that round and that map for themselves. It is going to be Kolkata winning the map of Ascent 13-4.
13-4, such a good lead in the first map itself, and this might be one of the advantages that the side of Team Kolkata might be able to pull off, because as I said, Dr. Dang, we know, I mean, for the viewers, we know that points are one thing that the teams might be looking out for to make their way into the playoffs, but there might be a situation where Delhi in their last matchup might be able to pull off 2 points, and Kolkata with the flawless victory today, if it happens and loses out in front of Hyderabad Nawabs tomorrow, they'll also be at 18, and it'll be an interesting thing to see on who will end up qualifying, because if they manage to both end up at 18 and it's only up to round differential on that last day to decide who's qualifying, it will be Kolkata as well as Delhi trying and praying as much as they can to make sure they qualify. And if that does happen, I think Kolkata might slightly have a better advantage depending on the last few matches that they've had, which they have pulled off, I would say, a little bit in a dominant fashion. So they do have that advantage if it's an 18-18 situation. But nonetheless, a really good start for Kolkata to make sure they grab as many points as possible. But with the next map that will be loading in, it's going to be Bind, where it is the choice coming in from Mumbai Aces and Mumbai Aces, with the pick coming in from the Yoru in this map. Will they be again going in for a Yoru with a triple duelist setup is something that we have to see. But what a insane clutch from Deathmaker on the last round with those Bladestorm. And you know this man, he's like, will I be playing with a Phantom or should I play with a Bladestorm? I'll be like, Bladestorm any day, bro. That's what he's going to say to you.
Well, that is exactly going to be the case. The second he shifted back to that Bladestorm, it was well, that is going to be a clutch that Deathmaker is not going to be losing out, especially with that Omen so low on HP, a single blade to connect. It was not going to be something that the side of, that is not going to be something that the side of Kolkata had any problems in guessing what was going to be the outcome. And well, that is exactly what the outcome was. It was going to be Kolkata to get that win. And well, Mumbai, they just kind of did not have the best showing up that we've seen from them. Ascent was a map that they were extremely strong on, and well, I guess they were just trying out new things. Binks, especially on that Yoru, clearly not trying to, be the best version of the race that he usually is. This time going in for that Yoru, maybe trying to pick up a few things here and there, but still 11 and 14, Notfox 12 and 14, Strix showing up huge for his team, but Deathmaker is going to again be the king at the top. 29 and 11, a 338 econ rating. Did he even buy Did he even buy weapons for himself? Because at that point of time, you really beg to answer the question that was he even picking up weapons, or were pistols the only thing that he was trying to have? You know, um, is going to is I mean, was he even buying anything other than a pistol? Because it just seems to be the case that, well, looking at that scoreline and the average combat score as well as that econ rating, the man just went insane. And Hevan on the killjoy, still being able to get the 4 first bloods, making sure that his lurk really paid off. Flex with 3, making sure that his team got that advantage. But Strix and Binks are going to be the only ones on the side of Mumbai to get first bloods for their team. And a total of 5, that's not going to be a lot for them. But going forward, there is going to be a map that is coming through. But before we head over to the next map, it is going to be we are going to be seeing the next 2 games that we have planned for tomorrow. It is going to be match 1 tomorrow at 2 p.m. is going to be Rajasthan taking on Bangalore, a game you will not want to miss at all. And then match 2 is going to be an important game for the both the teams as well. It's going to be Hyderabad taking on Kolkata, but that is going to be for tomorrow.
Tomorrow is going to be a really interesting day for all the viewers. Make sure you're liked, subscribed, and also hit that bell icon. And if you know a lot of people who are looking forward to such interesting tournaments, go forward and share them, because right here at Sky Esports, we are growing the community not only for all the pro players but also for the upcoming players as well. So it's going to get really interesting. But as we saw the first map end, and as Dr. Dang talked about it, Deathmaker is so close to pull off a 30 kill there. He's down in 29 with already an average combat score of 452. I think Dr. Dang today he should be able to reach that 900 mark where Rossi is, might be with a 10 or 20 kill difference from SK Rossi, but as I said, he might be still able to pull it off to a 900 mark. And if he does, a really good competition that we'll be seeing, because Kolkata have one more match as well as Bengaluru does, and both of them will have a really good chance on hitting that 1000 mark in the league format itself. But with, as we said, 2 interesting matches, 2 interesting days that have been left to decide who will be qualifying, because the 3rd and 4th position right now for Hyderabad, you can say it like they have actually qualified, because they are at a spot, but their 3rd spot, is it confirmed or not, or will there be a chance that Delhi managed to pull off a victory as well as Kolkata managed to pull off flawless victories? And if it ends up being I would say 18.5 or 19 for the side of Kolkata, as well as Delhi managed to pull off a victory and they become 18, Hyderabad will end up not qualifying, whereas we thought it will be Delhi or Kolkata who might not end up qualifying. And with those points that come in, it just might be enough to put down Hyderabad, because with 17.5 and 2 more matches left for Kolkata, I mean say 1 more match left for Kolkata as well as Delhi Dragons who are at 16, it can be a chance that Hyderabad, with the fighting chance they've put up, might get difficult for them to qualify.
That is true. I think there is going to be that small window where you can really expect to have games go in your favor. But anything other than that, you have to be prepared for the worst. And well, Kolkata right now, they're right at the edge. They have taken the map of Ascent, but they need to take Bind as well as Icebox. Bind is going to be a map that, well, Mumbai has been very strong on. But then yesterday, it was not Kolkata who was strong on. It was Deathmaker just doing what Deathmaker does. And we saw what happened yesterday on the map of Bind, especially against the team of I forget the name. Yesterday the game was against
Rajasthan Strikers in Kolkata.
Yeah, that was against Rajasthan. Rajasthan, in fact, getting their first flawless loss in the entirety of the tournament against the team of Kolkata, or rather against the aggression that Deathmaker was bringing, because with 36 kills, it just didn't feel as if it was anything other than a complete Deathmaker show.
I agree with you, Dr. Dang. Yesterday, it was a complete Deathmaker show that he pulled it off for his team. And what a dominant fashion for him to pull that off. That's really amazing for Deathmaker to keep that kind of a play constant for his team. But now, as we talk about it, the second map for the day, it's going to be Bind, where Bind is the choice from Mumbai Aces. And Mumbai Aces, we know Binks, who will be playing on that race on this end of it. He's going to be picking that and holding that U-Haul really strong, and his play, I really like it from U-Haul. There's only a couple of agents and couple of players who can play U-Haul really well, either to hold B as their defense in terms of entering hookah, as well as holding defense at A shot. Only a couple of players, and Binks is one of those players who holds A shot along with providing assistance at B hookah. But as we were talking about what's going to happen about the map in this Bind, the playoffs, just a quick reminder, there'll be qualifier 1, qualifier 2, as well as an eliminator. The people who will be fighting in that eliminator still to be decided, whether it will be Kolkata, whether it'll be Delhi, whether it'll be Hyderabad. These three teams right now still at a position where you cannot confirm that they'll be able to pull it off or not. So now they need to make sure that the eliminator is at least the stage that they end up reaching after the last 2 days that we have, and Kolkata is bang on performing for that. Hyderabad, they have back-to-back 2 matches starting off tomorrow, and that will be seen later. But now starting off back on Bind for the second match for the day, and the second map, I would say, for the day. What do you think, Dr. Dang? Will the side of Team Mumbai Aces go for a random or a couple of interesting picks coming through, or will it be their usual play that we have seen on Bind with Raze and I think Phoenix sticks on that Jet and a triple duelist setup? What do you think?
Well, I think that either ways is going to be interesting to see. Either Mumbai play it the way that they usually have with their Raze, with Strix on that Jet or on the Sova, with Millie picking up an Omen as well. So it's really going to be something that is either going to be similar to what Mumbai has already done, or if they're looking to throw their hands in the air and be like, you know what, let's just have some fun. Let's pick up whatever agents we feel like, and let's see what the best we can do. Like Binks just picked up that Yoru out of the blue. We did not expect a Yoru pick coming through on Ascent. We've never seen a Yoru pick come through on Ascent. We've only seen Yoru on the map of Split and on the map of Bind before this, on Koki as well as on Solo. So interesting to say the least, but maybe he likes to play it on Bind as well. Maybe he's going to be doing that. We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
I agree to you, Dr. Nag. As I said, I mean, for the side of Team Mumbai SS, they're a completely unpredictable team. You don't know what they'll end up doing. You don't know what kind of agents they end up picking. But one thing you can be sure is it's going to be a very interesting match, and it's going to be really interesting of how they play. But on the side of Kolkata Tridents, you know what they are trying to do. They want a flawless victory, as I mentioned. They want to make sure they get their mark on the points table and take their position rightly to qualify, because they are one of those teams that after the initial hiccup that they had, they've come back really huge. Same goes for Hyderabad. Delhi, who did have a start that was really good, is now facing a lot of hiccups and a lot of issues here and there, and it's really difficult for them. But starting on Bind, the side of Team Mumbai Aces will be on attack. This is a highly defense favored map, and Kolkata's defense on Bind, we have seen that it was not great. In the previous match that they played with Rajasthan Strikers, it got better, but will it be the same thing here to hold down a strong hold in either B or A? Will they be able to deny the push coming in as long as possible, or will they be going for frags rather than their utilities, is something that we have to look forward to. But Dr. Dang, do you think Whitehorse will be making his way back here on the map? Because generally Flex on the Phoenix is not seen on this map. He goes out, or if he is still there, he plays the race.
Well, I think that if we are going to be seeing Whitehorse come into play, then we can be seeing a shift onto the agent, shift in the agent selection coming through from the side of Kolkata. But again, it will just come down to the fact that if Flex wants to play that race or the Phoenix, Deathmaker is probably still going to be looking to play that Jet, because, well, yesterday the Jet for him on Bind was, well, godlike, basically, no pun intended. But at the same time, it is also going to be the fact that it's just that Jet is so comfortable for Deathmaker to play on. He knows that this is a very important game. So maybe we are not going to be seeing that role switch coming through. But if Flex is on that Jet, I still think that it is going to be very, very good as well. Because at the end of the day, it is going to be Flex is a very, very good duelist.
Flex is a really good duelist. I mean, as we said, he has no fear in terms of whether he has an operator in front of him, whether he has a duelist that he has to fight with, or with somebody who has flashes such as Initiator, that is Sky, or a Breach. He's going to rightly face them and try to take them down on gunfight. And he is always, I would say, maybe if you would want to put up a percentage in terms of how good he is in terms of a fight, he's almost 80 to 90% converting always his shots with raw peaks. So just imagine if he adds on utilities to his play, that's going to get really devastating for the opponent to fight Flex off. And Flex has been doing that, and once he uses his utilities and tries to go for a peak, it's like outright he picks off the kill. And just like Deathmaker, who goes in and takes in control as a Jet, Flex does the same thing along with Deathmaker. So it's going to be raining hell on the front of Team Mumbai Aces, but that will be seen on the second half of the map of Bind. And the first half, the side of Team Kolkata will be starting on defense. So I think they might go in for a double duelist, where we have seen Hevan certain times play that Sage. I'm looking forward to that Sage maybe make a comeback, because in this map, along with Split as well as Icebox, Sage is one of those picks that we have seen come up in the metas or in terms of agent selection for a couple of players or a couple of teams, depending on how they're feeling for a particular day. We have seen teams also going for a zero sentinel setup, especially Mumbai itself, but on a defense favored map, we have seen them also crumbling for the sole reason that they have nobody to hold, either to push either the aggression coming in with the Killjoy Nanoswarm to hold it down, or even if the push is coming in, there's no information for them to gain, because only with the Sova they would have already used it at A. By the time it comes back online, the site would have been given up, the spike would have come through, and the Sova's recon will only be online when they would be going for a retake. So how Mumbai will play is something that I'm looking forward to see.
Well, yes, how Mumbai is going to be playing this out is something that is interesting. We've seen them try out different lineups in terms of the agents, whether it be with controllers or be sentinels or initiators or duelists as well. So that is something that Mumbai is very, very strong at. Changing up the playstyle out of the blue, making sure that the other team does not understand what's happening. That is something that, well, Mumbai has been very good at. But today, it is going to be about the denial of points for the side of Kolkata, because Mumbai understand the fact that if Kolkata lose the map of Bind, they give up the bonus points, which is going to go a long way in deciding whether they can go into the playoffs or not. So for Mumbai, this is a golden opportunity to inflict some damage, or as you can say, a death by 1,000 cuts. You deny 0.5 points and you deny the eventuality of them making into the playoffs. So that's just going to be interesting, to say the least.
I agree with you. I mean, as I said, the last map for the day, it's going to be that Kolkata have a really good day, because Icebox is a map that we have seen Kolkata is getting strong. The side of Mumbai Aces are unable to figure out what they can pull off, and this map will be saying whether it's going to be a bonus point map or a decider map. But still, as I mentioned, this is a map that the side of Team Mumbai is better in terms of their strategy, but what they'll be picking in a particular day is really interesting, because Strix, we see that he plays the Jet, but we have also seen him on a particular map. On this map itself, he has played the Sova as well. I mean, changing from a duelist with such firepower that he has, putting him on an initiator, played that really well. But you need to understand that they'll end up losing the firepower, whereas they give it to somebody else who can pull it off. But maybe you understand there is a couple of opportunities that they might end up losing, giving away a Jet to another person rather than Strix, who has been consistently fragging on that Jet role for the side of Mumbai Aces. So what will be their pick coming in? But Bind being a highly defense favored map, what do you think, Dr. Dang? Let's make a quick score prediction before we head into the agent selection screen. What do you think that this map, will it be a close one, or will it be a huge domination, or will it be an overtime that we might end up seeing?
Well, that's interesting, to say the least, because again, overtime is something that we all would love to see happen. Or, at the end of the day, it will also come down to the fact that, is Kolkata going to be allowing Mumbai to make the plays that they want to? Because again, if Mumbai go in for a similar agent selection to what we saw on Ascent, it's going to be an easy game for the side of Kolkata. We saw them really, really just walk through the side of Mumbai on the map of Ascent. Now, it could have been the map playing in the favor of Kolkata, because at the end of the day, they did choose to go to that map. Bind is something that Mumbai has chosen to go to. So maybe there is going to be a difference. But the difference is also going to be about the agent selection. We've seen Hevan pick up that brim. If you figure out a way to counter that brim, well, you might just be having a big enough advantage for yourself.
I agree with you. I mean, if they manage to pull off that advantage, the side of team Mumbai Aces will be happy with this, because as we said, Mumbai Aces right now are not fighting to make sure they qualify, but they're trying to have fun as well as look forward to maybe possibly take off a couple of points from the opponents who are looking for those points much needed. Because if they manage to lose those points, as we were talking about it, we might have to see where Kolkata is just wishing to qualify rather than making their spot really strong on the either third spot or the fourth position. So if that ends up happening, Kolkata, I know they also don't want a situation like that to come up where they have to end up just putting it in front of another team's hand, whether they lose or win, and that will be their fate that will be decided. So Kolkata, you have seen them starting off really strong. I think Kolkata will be putting up a really good performance, as we have seen them along with Rajasthan Strikers yesterday. They put up a really good fight on the map of Bind, which was a map that Rajasthan never lost on. So a streak, I would say 2 streaks that Kolkata managed to take away from the side of Rajasthan Strikers before Rajasthan Strikers head into, I would say, the playoffs. And that's a really interesting fight that they put off yesterday. So Bind can still get better. I wouldn't say that was the best from the side of Kolkata that we saw yesterday on Bind. Yes, Deathmaker pulled off an insane 36k, but because they were on attack, they managed to pull it off. But on defense, we know they find a little bit of faults and mistakes here and there. So they need to make sure their defense that they're starting off now needs to be really strong. But before we see what happens or what conclusion is the map, we are heading into the agent selection scene to see what is the interesting choices coming through.
Well, yes, and there is going to be a surprise on board for the side of Mumbai. That is going to be the fact that Chromes is going to be coming in for Not Fox. So that is a sub being made on the map. He's going to be picking up that Phoenix. Binks on the Raze, Frozen on the Killjoy. Millie is looking to pick up that Sova, and Strix might just take that Astra.
The picks from the side of team Mumbai Aces, I thought so it should be a triple duelist, but they're going in for a double duelist, Sentinel as well as an initiator and a controller. But on the side of Kolkata, Rexy is going in for a controller, whereas Hevan is putting himself on an initiator. An interesting pick coming through. We have seen Hevan is really good on that controller, but he has also certain times a little bit delay in terms of playing those lineups or providing cover for his team. So maybe that might be interesting, because Hevan on that initiator on that Sky, he has completely dominated on the map of Bind. So I think that's a really good choice coming in, as we see Deathmaker back and Meow16 has picked up the race. Flex gone in for a Sentinel. This is an interesting choice coming in. I'm putting a duelist into a Sentinel, and on defense, I'm pretty sure the aim on this man is going to be something that the opponent need to be feared about, because Flex on that Sentinel will not be having that commitment that he has to rush into a site, whereas he will be holding a site and he'll be ripping heads apart.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case. But as far as things stand on the map of Bind, extremely defensive favored. If you are able to make sure that you can retain map control on whatever side you take, you are going to be getting that map. Because again, it's very easy to take control on Bind, but very difficult to keep control on the map of Bind. Whether it be attack or it be defense, you are going to have to deal with that issue. But as far as things go, we are going to be heading right into the matchup between both these teams. So quickly chat, who do you think is going to be taking the map of Bind? What do you think is going to be the prediction that you guys have? And well, if we are going to be having a particular scoreline that you feel is going to be taking place between both these teams. Now, as we start off, Binks is looking to attack right in towards Hookah, but it looks like his progress is going to be a little slow because he's going to get concussed. Hevan knows that he is connected. The flash should be coming through, but he's only going to blind himself, and Binks gets one before Meow16 comes in and gets that trade. But the Sky getting taken out, as well as Deathmaker getting taken out by Chromes, is going to be huge. It's all down to Meow inside. Hookah She's going to be alone for a long while. She gets another one for herself. Millie is going to get taken out. The hot hands gets dropped. Crows might be pushing it, but it looks like Millie is going to get hit from the 1-2 from the back end, and that is going to be Meow falling off. Chromes is going to get Rexy as well. It's all down to Flex in a 1v3.
Spike planted.
1v3. I mean, I said this man will be able to pull it off. That far range, the frenzy does not prove really better. But now with the turret, it's going to deal a lot of time and fight that he has to pull off before he makes that work. But with that Astra, I think a Nebula popped off there.
Turret's destroyed.
Why?
Bomb
Okay,
grenade
it's
out.
his Killjoy's turret. It was Flex's turret that was making the noise. I was like, wait, why is the turret making noise which is in sight and Flex is all the way at City? I got a little bit confused, but nonetheless, Mumbai start off really strong on attack, pull off one round, and now with advantage, they might be able to pull off another.
Well, yes, they do have the buys in their favor, but remember, it is going to be something that last time Kolkata had the disadvantage at, but they were able to get that thrifty round on board. Now, I'm guessing that this time Mumbai is not going to be making that same mistake, but you know, it's really just going to be coming down to the fact that, well, sometimes thrifty rounds are all that you need to really get. I mean, a pistol sometimes is going to be more than enough, as Hevan is pushing through that hot hands. He tries to get a frag, but Hevan and Meow16 both. Meow falling to those hot hands is going to get taken out. Now Chromes, he's a little on HP, but he's picked up 2 kills and he can heal himself up with the Blaze Wall. Not to mention he has got his Molly back once again. He has his ultimate back on board as well, so he might just be able to make that work. But Flex comes in from the back. He is going to get Millie and Deathmaker is going to get Binks. Chromes is going to be able to make that rotate, but the stars are going to get placed. Chromes is holding on for that rotate. He knows that someone's going to probably hop into that TP, but as we are back to a 3v3, things are looking pretty similar to what we saw the last time. Will this be a thrifty round coming through? It will have to be a difficult play coming in from the side of Kolkata and a perfect play coming in from them to really make it work. Molly is going to get used up for U-Haul, but there are so many stars on the ground. It's almost as if it's Hollywood's walkway. The Killjoy turret, or rather the Swarm Grenade, is going to get spotted as Rexy is just going to get stuck. Deathmaker pushes in, he gets Chromes. Deathmaker is vulnerable. Will he be able to get a frag? No shoes and is going to get one. Again, the vulnerable is going to get popped, but this time Rexy gets the frag, but not the round. And that is going to be Mumbai with 2 rounds on board.
The side of Kolkata brought it really close on the tiptoe, where Deathmaker brought it back to a 2v3 situation, picking off one of the players. I guess it was the Brim, or I'm not sure. Is it Chromes? Okay, nonetheless, it was one player that went down from the side of Team Mumbai there, brought it back to a 3v2 situation. But you saw all those stars plays was the right call, because as soon as the defuse was coming in through Rexy, it was always getting pulled up, either a concuss or a gravity well, which was throwing them off that I would say defuse, and because of which they managed to pull it out. Now again, they are trying to aggress inside hookah as well as octagon, and this might be something that they managed to pull off. But Chromes will pick off one person, Shozen will pick off Hevan, and they've already lost 2 people out of the board. They have control, but Rexy and Deathmaker will pull one. Deathmaker very quickly pulls one more and brings it back to advantage for Kolkata on this full buy.
Kolkata are definitely going to be looking extremely strong, but the flash comes through, and that is going to be something that Chromes as well as Deathmaker and his teammate of Flex are going to get blinded for. But the 2 remaining players are going to be inside sight. Millie has to deal with the jiggle peaks happening. Flex will be getting that frag, and Rexy on Chromes is going to get the final kill, and that is going to be a round on board for Kolkata. As long as Rexy, Hevan, Flex or Deathmaker, any 2 of these players are going to be alive, Kolkata have a chance to pull it back. And well, this round Rexy as well as, or rather Flex as well as Deathmaker, really proving that, picking up 3 kills within a span of seconds and getting the round back for the side of Kolkata.
Kolkata, it was a much important round. They managed to pull it back. But with the creds, I think the side of Team Mumbai will also be able to go for full buys. But it will be their last full buy. However, Deathmaker already has his ultimate. If things go south. He's going to pull it back up as up going in for those blade storms. We saw him clutching the last round. He might be able to do it here again. But look at this. It is again a B execution coming from the side of Team Mumbai, and they might be able to go down again as Deathmaker picks one. There is a crossfire from Hookah as Deathmaker with the 3k. Hevan picks one. Hevan goes down, but Meow will close it out on Shozen, who had picked off Hevan, and that's a very close to flawless round coming for the side of Team Kolkata, and they brought it to an equalizer.
Well, yes, that is going to be the case as Mumbai is now going to be forced onto an eco for sure. And well, or rather not, maybe not. It looks like they still do have some buys with them. All right, maybe they went in for that eco last round. So maybe that is going to be the reason. But they have some buys and some don't. They don't have a buy on Strix and they don't have a buy on Binks. That is going to be huge. So it's going to come down to the fact that whether those weapons are going to be used up in the way that they have to. And as far as things go, Strix is going to be using that Dissipate to walk up. He's going to let Deathmaker sneak in, but he lets his position get given away. And Deathmaker, he's going to relocate and look to take a better gunfight.
And now Chrome starts things off. Millie will start one of her own as she's picked off Deathmaker. Deathmaker already going off the board. 3-man disadvantage for the side of Team Kolkata to pull this off, as Shozen is also getting picked off, but the spike has already made its way to B. But now Rexy, the last man surviving, picks one. He might be able to pick one. The spike is not yet picked, but Strix will, with that controller, will manage to close this round, as this was the full buy coming in from the side of Team Mumbai. And it looks like one round here and there is happening from both these teams, but now Kolkata need to understand what the side of Team Mumbai is doing. They're either going in for a full rush with one lurk coming in, or it's going to be a complete rush to a particular side that they need to be ready for. And aggression from the side of Kolkata is, I think, a bit too close to fight out in terms of what utility is being thrown at them. And if they manage to, I would say, maybe get out of Hookah and try to fight it, they'll have a better chance in pulling rounds back to back.
Well, I think the issue that Kolkata is having is that they do understand the fact that on bind, keeping map control is going to be very difficult and is going to be very, very important as well. So instead of playing the slower game of trying to retake, the problem is that they're trying to contest it heavily and then keep map control in that way by getting frags. Now, very, very it's just a different way of playing it. There are always going to be two sides of the same coin. As Chromes is going to be going in, he's going to force the players out, but Flex, he understands that. He's just going to push through, and well, it looks like he's going to get one more before finally getting taken out by Shows, and Rexy is going to fry Strix out of the board, as that the Killjoy lockdown will also get destroyed. Now Shozen, he picks up a frag onto Hevan, but Millie as well as him have to find 3 players within a span of 40 seconds to really make sure that they can get this down. Now Rexy is not going to make that easy. Put Millie in a 1v3 and she's going to get backed up by Deathmaker. That's going to be the 3-3 round coming through from the side of Kolkata.
P3 it is, and it looks like Kolkata are not backing off anytime soon. They'd want to make sure or they have all the rounds. With using Rexy's ultimate, he managed to fry one person out and put them to the next round. But again, the side of Team Kolkata with only one ultimate used, there were 2 ultimates that was used. One was the Seekers as well, but again they do have 3 ultimates. Deathmaker has his Blade Storms for a long time now, still hasn't used it, but there is a Killjoy lockdown that they can use for a retake. The same goes for the side of Team Mumbai Aces, not in terms of the lockdown, but the post-plant utilities or the post-plant ultimates that they have. They have a Showstopper, they have a Hunter's Fury, as well as for them to get that spike down, they do have a Cosmic Divide. But they're looking forward to make their entry together at A shot, and Binks with his ultimate, he looks forward to shot. He does damage, managed to do that damage, but not enough to get that kill. Flex picks off 2 people, Deathmaker picks one, Rex picks one, and with the spike going down, it's all up to Strix with a 1v4 situation. There's a Hawk coming in, but he eventually saves himself. But now with this Trailblazer coming in, his position will be known. He's getting packed and he's getting pushed and blinded, as Rexy will pick that kill.
Well, that is going to be a round that maybe Mumbai could have played a little different, considering they had buys on the players that they were trying to rush in through. That was probably not the best decision to make sure that, well, you just smoke off a bunch of angles, don't worry about counter smokes and try to run in. And that is not going to be something that you will be able to pull off against Kolkata, because with players like Hevan, Rexy and Deathmaker being ready to play off crossfires for each other, pushing in like that is probably a death sentence, and that exactly is what happened over there.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Yep, and now you can see an early Chrome he's using his ultimate, and he's going in for a U-Haul control. He reads, and his position is not given out. I mean, he does not read anybody from the opponent, but his utility goes to wait. He uses a lot of time, but nothing is given up as
Spike
Flex
down
randomly
A.
sprays and gets a smoke kill on Bing, and he's going for another one. Flex in this position at A has pulled off a lot. He's at the 3k, he might be able to pull off a 4, but it'll be Deathmaker who'll be pulling in, because that gravity well will be the reason that Flex will be unable to get for a 4k and maybe even try for an ace.
Well, that is going to be, well, a complete recovery from the side of Mumbai, just making sure that they understand exactly how Kolkata wants to play, and once they do understand that, they're able to change things up. But again, it just didn't work out in their favor, but at least they put in the effort for that. So as far as things go, Kolkata is going to be keeping that advantage for themselves, but Mumbai, they're slowly figuring out the game that Kolkata is trying to bring to the board, and if Kolkata tries to keep the same thing going up without making any changes, that could be a problem for them.
It could be a problem as Deathmaker
Spike
starts with
down.
2 people off the board. Yes, Meow16 get picks, but look at Hevan. He's blinding the hell out of the people here. As he does it thrice, he's getting that 1 kill. He's going in for another, but Strix and Millie will pick off 2 people on site, and it's back to a 2v2 situation as rifle upgrades is also in due time for Millie as well as Strix to get this spike down.
Well, Millie is going to be having a phantom to recover, as Rexy is going to be coming in from the side of Hookah, and there is going to be presence at CT from the side of Flex. Now Millie, she's going to be droning out. She spots Rexy. She knows that the drop needs to happen as the combat stem is going to get placed. This is going to be an interesting lineup coming through. The lockdown is going to be placed
Last
so
player
close up to
standing.
them that they will not be able to make it work. They're forcing Millie to use her Hunter's Fury, and that is going to be something that could be changing up. But Strix is going to be getting that kill onto Flex, making sure that that big brain play just not working out, and a thrifty on board for the side of Mumbai. So both these teams have pulled a thrifty on each other.
I mean, that is just smart play from Strix as well as Flex. I would give that to him. He did have a really good chance, because you saw that it was Millie trying to destroy it but was unable to. But Strix, with that gravity well rightly placed close to the spike, was able to, as Flex was trying to go in for, I would say, maybe a better angle in terms of how we can get one person off the board. He directly walked into that gravity well. Otherwise, it should have been Flex walking away with that victory. Nonetheless, Kolkata still have one round in terms of advantage, and Deathmaker along with Meow here at Hookah might be able to pull off 2 people. Wings needs to be smart, and that's what he's trying to do. He might go in for a wide pick. He might be able to pull off. He might be able to get a kill. Hevan gets one. He spots out 2 people, but he got Meow's position, and Hevan with the 3k and Meow of her own at 2 at Hookah will clean this round, and Meow's position there was just so good that Deathmaker baited himself.
Well, yes, that is going to be the case, but again, it's not about trying to get every single frag for Deathmaker. It is about trying to get that win, and well, in that situation, he felt that him dropping that frag is going to allow his teammates to get more. He just did that, and that is the perfect sign of someone who wants that win a lot more than just getting those kills for themselves, and that is exactly how professional play works. You cannot focus on the kills, because if you try to do that, you're going to get taken out. And well, Deathmaker, if there are players like Deathmaker in front of you, you are going to be having a much higher chance of getting taken out, as that is exactly what he does to the Killjoy on the side of Mumbai.
Man, that is just smart. You look at this, he knew that every round there'll be at least 1 or 2 people that he can contest, and the round that they did not manage to push up was the round that he managed to pick off 1. He picks up 2. Chromes is traded out, but look at the health of Millie, and Chromes picks up a 3k here with that push coming in, but he's the last man surviving. He can go in for a reload, but 2 people on 2 different sides might be difficult for him. Yes, he has his ultimate to play with, but it's a really hard ask with 2 people online, and also a couple of utilities from the opponents as well. It'll be a tough ask, but he can still pull through.
Well, yes, that is going to be the case. And well, with Mumbai Aces only having Chromes up, he does have his ultimate. So maybe he can try to pull that off and go in for a spike plant so that he can have,
30 seconds
he
left.
can be back in a retake position from long maybe. But that is going to have to come down to the fact that, well, there is going to be a player at elbow and there is one on the other side. Now, he is not giving away his position just yet by getting that spike down. But if he does not do this in time, he might just have
10
that problem.
seconds
Now, he's
left.
going in for that spike. 9 seconds on the board. Hevan is going to be coming in from elbow and unfortunate. Chrome's just not checking the right angle at the right time. He falls and that is going to be Mumbai losing another round as Kolkata go up to 7 and we headed to the last round in the first half of Bind.
Kolkata
Last
is looking
round
really
in the
strong
half.
on this defense. I mean, yesterday we did see that they bring rounds really close, and after which they become a little bit dominant and they managed to close the map of Bind. But again, here in the map, in the side of defense itself, Kolkata have had a really good start, and if they manage to make it an 8-4, that will be an even better split for them. And with that operator coming on top of Rexy on the last round, they are seriously meaning business and they do not want to let go of any rounds. However, there are 4 ultimates for the side of Team Mumbai Aces to make this last round work, and they have a high probability of making it work because with the run it back, with the lockdown, with the Hunter's Fury as well as a Cosmic Divide, that's going to be a really good chance to pull things off.
But that's definitely going to be the case as the Cosmic Divide should be coming in any second now. But Deathmaker with the Blade Storm is going to be getting 1 kill for himself. That's Strix and no more Cosmic Divide. He's on the backstab. Is he going to get another one? Yes, he will. But finally, Millie shuts him down and Chromes picks one up onto Hevan, but the Cosmic Divide already went up, so there is going to be that short chance for the side of Mumbai to make that work, but they're going to be jumping into that TP. The sound cues are not going to be given just yet. They spotted that Swarminate. The hot hands are going to get dropped. Meow is going to have to make this work, but she pushes in, and well, rather Chromes pushes in, tries to go in for that spike, but what a lineup from Meow on that swarm, on that paint shell. She is able to get the Killjoy lockdown destroyed simply because of her paint shell, and the Brim orbital strike was not needed at all. But right now the positions are going to be played as Shozen, despite shooting onto that alarm bot, or rather that boom bot, is going to be getting that first flag, but wrong timing on the Killjoy. Will this be a knife coming
What?
through?
Flex?
What?
What?
What is this? What was that round?
So funny.
First Shozen gets the boombot and Meow, and then Flex runs out of bullets. Instead of shifting to the other weapon, just runs in onto Millie's face and knifes her.
I'm going to try and reach out to Flex and try to understand what he managed to do. I right in the face of that Hunter's Fury with the Bucky did not manage to kill the Sova, and I managed to go down. I'm not sure how he survived for 2 Hunter's Furies and then managed to pull off a knife kill. Okay, Flex, that's something else. Right on the face of Millie. Oh my god, and on Hunter's Fury. Amazingly played Flex there with the bullets being 0 on his magazine and still pulling it off. Oh my god, quick thoughts, and that's just game sense, Dr. Dang. I think that's how beautifully he understood what he could do in that situation.
Well, I still don't understand what could have gone wrong. You always have a pistol to pull out unless he thought that it's going to be funny. But right now, Rexy is going to be starting things off, and that is not going to be fun and games for the side of Chromes. He gets taken out very, very easily. Binks is going to pull 1 kill back, but Hevan is going to be picking up that ult for himself as Deathmaker and Flex are going to be getting a kill each. It's all down to Strix, and Millie is going to be really down on HP as well, as she's going to get taken out. It's going to be all down to Strix. They cross each other inside the smoke. Rexy as well as Strix just dodging each other, but finally Deathmaker with the headshot to seal the deal. Strix is going to get taken out, and well, that's going to be Kolkata taking their pistol in the second half for themselves.
Yeah, now it's attack. So Kolkata will be out and about just like how the side of Team Mumbai Aces were doing, but Mumbai Aces for a lot of rounds were only executing B, because of which, it was getting highly stacked at B, and it was getting difficult for the side of Team Mumbai SS to pull off rounds on the side of B. Yes, they were close to get down the spike, but things like that, but not much that they could do. But now with the force coming in from the side of Team Mumbai, they're looking forward to bring it back, because if they manage to do it here, that will be an eco that the side of Team Kolkata will have to head over to in the next round.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case, as Mumbai has already gotten 2 players that are low on HP. The flash comes through, that is definitely going to be blinding a player or two. The molly is going to get thrown off, not really sure where that is going to be landing, whether Kabi or CT is going to be the best position for them. But the judge comes out, Chrome is going to get one, he might just get the second, but no, he's going to run out of bullets. Meow is going to be able to get that frag for herself, and well, Kolkata, they're going to be having a huge advantage, as Flex is going to get one more. Flex is going to get Binks as well. Will Flex get the third to seal the deal for himself? The Killjoy turret goes out. The Ghost comes out. And well, this is going to be looking like Millie and Flex are just going to be having a little fun game with each other. But Deathmaker comes in and he gets that kill for himself to seal the deal. 10-4 on the board for Kolkata.
Double digits. Kolkata still staying strong, pulling it off back round to rounds, and now with that force not working for the side of Team Mumbai, they do have Astra to play with, but Strix, who is generally a duelist or an initiator, going in for a controller might not be the great call, because Astra is one of those agents who's not as much as easy to play in terms of an Omen or a Brimstone, because her stars are should be placed either for a smoke, either for a gravity well, or for a nebula, and it will be only an opportunity deciding what that star can do. And for a controller to understand that, it will take a lot of time, but all of a sudden playing this Astra might be one of those reasons that they're finding it a hard time to hold down the side. But nonetheless, Neo 16k starts things. Deathmaker will spot out, I guess, 2 or 3 people here, but a TP comes through. Neo 16k, Rexy, Deathmaker, all of these people will clean off, as Binks will somehow manage to take down Meow with that boom bot for the last kill.
I mean, it was a flawless, but it wasn't a flawless.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. But that was going to be a full buy that Mumbai had pulled off, right? That was the full buy for them. That was not the bonus. Or it looks like they had forced. Alright. So they had forced in the round before that. So the previous round was an eco, while it was a bonus for the side of Kolkata. But it looks like they're going to be ditching those weapons. They're going to be getting rid of all those Spectres except 2, and making sure that they have the better Vandals and the Phantoms for them to work with. Now Strix is going to be placing down multiple stars, and Binks is going to use the advantage placed because of those stars. Is going to get that frag onto Deathmaker. Perfect crossfire, the crosshair position coming in from the side of Binks to get that frag. As the flash comes through, Tromes will have to make this work. The curveball comes out, he's going to blind one player, he gets that kill. He's going to drop those hot hands as he looks to pick up a multiple kill in this round for his team.
Yep, with 3 people surviving from the side of Kolkata, it's still probable that they can pull it off, but it's going to get difficult as Chrome goes in for another one. He's looking for one more, but Rexy will manage to take him. Rexy takes one more, but Binks will clean and sweep it off with a 3k for his team to survive and not let it go for the match point.
Well, yes, that is going to be a very good round pulled back from the side of Mumbai. They really needed to make sure that they could get that round to prevent the side of Kolkata trying to get that match point for themselves. Now, Kolkata is still going to be having a huge advantage of 6 rounds for them to make this work. But if there are going to be mistakes made in 2 rounds or even a single round at the wrong time, we could be seeing a comeback being in place from the side of Mumbai. But as far as things go, there is going to be decent economy on the side of both these teams. But Meow 16 is going to start things off. That Chromes the Phoenix off the board so early as the Trailblazer is going to be going in. Hevan now knows that majority of the site, that as far as he can see, is going to be completely clear for his team to push into.
Yeah, but look at Deathmaker. He has opened the side completely at A, and it should be a rotate that they should be making. Yes, the Killjoy's lockdown has been popped from Kolkata, but still they might be able to pull it off. Deathmaker rushes in a little bit too early. Strix manages to pull him off, and they are trying to enter a side a little bit late, but backside is not clear. Flex will still manage to clear it along with Meow 16k, and look at Flex's position. He's already made his way into Elbow, and Strix so low HP, they're just hunting for him. He picks up 2 kills, but as soon as that is known, Flex will not let him survive, and that is match point for you.
Well, that is going to be match point for the side of Kolkata, as they do not look to slow down at all. The side of Mumbai is definitely going to be having a huge task if they even want to think about denying points for the side of Kolkata. But right now, it's looking like Kolkata is on board to have, well, is looking on board to have the match point as well as 2 points guaranteed for themselves. And that is going to be huge. They might or might not be able to get the bonus for them, but as long as they can get these 2 points on board, it is still going to be something that is a lot more beneficial to them rather than not being able to pick up any points. So as we are going in for a small tack pause on the side of, I believe, Mumbai, because, well, they are the team that needs that tack pause right now. They need to figure out what they want to do, and so that they can get a chance at getting this comeback in.
It's going to get really difficult. I mean, already with 12-5, the previous match was 13-4. Now with 12-5, it looks like Kolkata want to make it and close it here right now and right here. But if they manage to do it and pull it off, that'll be something really interesting. But if they do not manage to do that, it'll be just Mumbai trying to fight as much as hard as possible, because after the next round that rolls in, that's going to be a 6th round coming in. But look at the creds for the side of Team Kolkata. Even if they go the next round, they'll be able to pull it off, and Deathmaker should be close to getting back to his ultimates, because 2 of his teammates already have the ultimates, 2 more are on their way, and Deathmaker, who used, I guess, his Bladestorm, will be starting off fresh again in this round. And if he manages to pull it off, they'll be back on the ultimates before they lose creds completely, and they will not be letting this round go away. But right now, for Kolkata to pull it off with the ultimates that they have, look at the Seekers that is there. That can be popped off immediately as the ultimate from Chromes is popped, and Chromes' ultimate will eventually get blinded as well as concussed just because of that Seekers coming out. And once that goes in, his ultimate will also go down to waste, I would say, and then he would be reset. But there is still 2 more ultimates, a Cosmic Divide and a Showstopper, which can be used on a retake for the side of Team Mumbai Aces. If the spike goes down and then they manage to put up a Cosmic Divide and they understand information of where they are with the Sova, that Showstopper will prevent the opponents trying to take off the spike diffuser or killing the spike diffuser, as Binks will be able to pull off at least a 2 or 3k when they line up either a Octagon if it gets popped at B, or if it gets pops at A, where it might be default position. He might just shoot a Showstopper to shot and be able to pick off maybe 2 kills there as well. So something like this, the side of Team Mumbai Aces needs to be ready with a counter attack, because the Seekers might come very soon as the Phoenix's ultimate is popped. I think so. What do you think, Dr. Dang?
Well, I feel that with the Astral utility in place, you can make multiple plays, and we've talked about this earlier as well. You can try to bait a person to give up a spot because, well, you just place a star over there and you pull it back later for a dissipate. But you could also be using that Astral Divide to kind of fake the rotate. Get the spike down in a position where they hear the spike going down, but after that, don't plant it. Rush into that TP and use that Astral Divide's logic of that you do not have bullets or sound going through that barrier to get that rotate without the other team realizing that the rotate has been pulled through. If you can do that, then it should be so much better for the side of Mumbai, because they will be able to get that round on the simple basis of a single ultimate, and usually rounds are not going to be as crystal clear as that. But as far as the economy goes on the side of Mumbai, they basically have to force every single round. Binks with a Frenzy, Strix with a Vandal and a half shield, a Spectre and a full shield for Shozen, the Judge and the half shield for Chromes, and, well, Millie is going to be the only one who can afford a full buy for herself. With utility, she is able to get that Phantom and a full shield. There is going to be a lot that the side of Mumbai need to do right now. But Kolkata, they kind of do deserve it. Look at Deathmaker, 22-8. Look at Flex, 17-9, 13-6 on Rexy. Except Hevan, who's playing that all-out support role, everyone on the side of Kolkata has a positive KD. And even Hevan, the reason that he has a negative KD is because he has been in those 1vx's and in those retake positions, where it is kind of understandable that you win some and you lose some.
I agree with you. I mean, Hevan has been playing that role as an initiator really well, giving information in terms of that Hawks or even Trailblazer. And look at it again with the Hawk as well as a Trailblazer. He'll give away the information, but Binks will slow things down. But that ultimate coming in, Chrome's bang on with judging. He goes in for another one, but Deathmaker will take him. But Binks is there for an instant straight. What is this? This is just more down happening as 6 picks 1, Shows and picks 1, and it's Binks coming in. Rexy will take him down, but there is Chromes on that trade, and it will be a round that the side of Team Mumbai will survive.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case, as the side of Mumbai is, well, they're going to be surviving for another round, but will this be something that is replicable? Because yes, they've gotten a win. Yes, their economy is going to be recovering. They have got their weapons on board. They are able to get better buys. But at the same time, the side of Kolkata, they're slowly coming up. And with Meow16 having an ultimate for herself, not to mention that Hevan also has his Seekers ready, and Rexy's ultimate is not too far away considering he can get an ult out for himself. This eventually should be around, there eventually will be a round where the side of Kolkata is able to force their way in with the use of ultimates, deny presence with the use of Brim's Orbital Strike, and then in a retake or in a post-plant position are able to keep every single player of Mumbai second guessing as to their position, because they will have Seekers with them, as Chromes is going to be taking a lot of damage as well as Meow. They're both going to fall back and try to take a better gunfight for each other.
No, Millie, who was trying to push into the smoke, gets punished as Rexy will pick it. The spike should come through and a heal will also come for Mia. She's back on 100 HP, but they have to be worried about the retake coming in, because Chrome's with that heal coming in for him with his Blaze. He is looking for that backstab, but now with Hevan Flex as well as Meow are ready for that. The Cosmic Divide does come through. You know that's really important. 6 picks off 1, but look at that showstopper. It gets pops off for Meow. It might be something that she should pull off right now, but Hevan will pick 1, will pick 2, Shozen will pick 2 for himself, but Flex will pick 1 back, and it's all up to the last player. On the other side of the wall is already defusing, and they don't know about this. They're pushing in. It might be just too late, but no, Flex pushes in and he gets the last kill as Kolkata Tridents make sure on today's match they bang on close with 2 points, and with the last map for the day, it's about to be a bonus point decider map.
Well, that is Kolkata for you. They're able to get that win. They get 2 points in the board, and as of the standings right now, well, they're going to be in the 4th position. But they have to remember that they are only 4th by the slimmest of the margins. They need to get this bonus point on board to really make sure that they can clear the points that Delhi can take, because Delhi's at 16, and if Delhi get 2, they get up to 18. And if they get that 0.5 bonus, 18.5, as long as Kolkata is able to maintain their score above 18.5, they are going to be safe. But if they are going to be below 18.5, that is going to be placing things in for luck. And that is not where Kolkata want to be. But they've got the start. They've picked up the 2 points that they needed right now. And well, as I said, as of right now, they are going to be the 4th placed team on the league table.
4th place is what they'll be holding, but if they manage to get the flawless victory in the next map and pull off a bonus, they might be able to go to the 3rd position, and that will be a good end for the match for today in front of Mumbai Aces. And with 18 points on the board, they'll be on the 3rd position. The side of Delhi will already be pushed out, and for Delhi to make a comeback, they would have to win their last match, and if they don't, it's going to get difficult. But however, if Delhi win and Hyderabad lose their next match along with Kolkata, Hyderabad will be out of this tournament. So all these 3 teams still haven't confirmed their position on the points table or for the playoffs yet, but a really good start for the side of Kolkata Tridents, closing off 2 points. And as we talked about it, Deathmaker was close to 30 kills in the previous map. Here he's not very close to 30 kills, but still gets 23 kills for his team, 10 deaths, and with 4 first blood, start things off really well. But on the other side, it's Flex who's playing a sentinel but still gets 3 first bloods. I mean, Flex, like, why and how?
Well, I think that the fact that Flex is, well, he's usually playing that duelist. He is not going to be on that sentinel. But again, he is going to be someone who is extremely good at aiming. And well, whether you're on that Killjoy or on Omen or on a Jet or a Phoenix, as long as you are having good aim, winning gunfights is not going to be a problem for you. It's only about utility usage is where you decide whether, all right, this player is a better suited player for a sentinel or going to be better suited for a, for a duelist. So all of these things do come down to player mentality, player skill, and at the same time also about, well, the position in the team that they want to play. So it is going to come down to that fact that at the end of the day, it is going to be dependent on the sentinel or the controller or the the agent is going to be dependent on what the player is a lot more comfortable on. And well, in this case, it is going to be Flex really comfortable on that Killjoy.
Agree with you. I mean, Flex was really comfortable on that Killjoy, and he played it off really perfect for his team and pulled off that victory along with Deathmaker side by side. Did not even make us feel that he was on a Killjoy. He still played it off pitch perfect, and the side of Kolkata have had a really good start on today's match, and Mumbai now with the last map for the day, that's going to be Icebox. I think Kolkata have a really good chance to close it off as a bonus point and make themselves well in terms of position on the third spot. And for them, the next match that they play with Hyderabad Nawabs, they need to pull off 2 points, and if they manage to pull off those 2 points, and you know where Hyderabad will stand, if Hyderabad will lose those points, the winners of Sky League 2020 will have to go down without a playoff and will be just placed at 5th position at the end of this league format, and that will not be a good or even a positive note for the side of team Hyderabad Nawab. So tomorrow's match is going to be really very interesting, as well as a hard task for both these teams to make sure they get a victory. Whether it'll be Kolkata or Hyderabad, that'll be for tomorrow, but a really good map that the side of Kolkata managed to close on. And as we talked about, Bind is not their great map because they have been facing difficulty in their defense. Their attack, yes, it's good, but their defense, they have been having a couple of hiccups. But from yesterday, they have constantly improved in terms of the agents they're picking, in terms of the strategies that they have, and in terms of the aggression or in terms of trade game that they have kept it already in their books.
Well, yes, that is definitely the case. The fact that Kolkata has crossfires the way that they have, the trade game that they have is absolutely insane. Unless a team figures out to break down those crossfires, you just walk into a death trap. And that is exactly what we saw in Bind in so many rounds. The side of Mumbai miss one single step in clearing out an angle, and they pay the price by their entire team getting wiped out in a matter of seconds. We saw this so many times. 4v4, oh wait, there is Flex and Deathmaker in this corner, we didn't clear this out, and well, it's down to a 4v1 suddenly because Deathmaker gets 2 and Flex gets 1, and we are back to a clutch situation for our last remaining player. And that is exactly what so many times teams are going to overlook. But at the same time, it is going to be coming down to the fact that, well, the side of Kolkata still need to make sure that they can get this, because again, as I said, as of right now, they stand at the 4th position in the table. And as far as things go going forward, they need to make sure that 18.5 is what they aim for, because that is theoretically the max number of points that Delhi can get. And if you are crossed Delhi, well, then you have the safe zone that you are in. As long as you can do that, you're safe. And that is all that you have to aim for. You do not have to aim for 3 wins on this map, 3 wins on that map, and 3 wins on this map. That's not what you have to think. You have to think about the league table and how it plays out. Round differential is going to be something that you will not be able to change, because again, it takes into consideration all the games that you've played so far. But points is something that you can look at and have an idea as to whether you are going to be qualifying or not.
Yep, I mean, round differential. I mean, because a lot of us have not experienced the round differential working out how, I would want to maybe wish for a round differential that will put only the things in matter of how will they be able to pull it off. So I will think about whether it'll be 18-18 that will be ending up for Delhi as well as Kolkata. I wish not, because I want to make sure that one of those teams put their anchor, or in terms of pulling off a spot saying that yes, we have held these many points and we have a right position to qualify, rather than putting it all on the round differential in terms of the 14 matches that they have played throughout this league 2021. So that will be something, again, as I mentioned, the last match that Delhi has, Hyderabad versus Delhi Dragons, Kolkata do not want to make sure they only stand a chance and wish and pray that they qualify. And if that does happen, they'll be unsure of where they'll be walking into, and that will be an added on pressure going into the playoffs that they just qualified just because of a quiet round differential. And it might be one of those hard tasks depending on how teams take. I mean, they should not take, oh no, we just qualified because of round differential, not the points. They should make sure that they played, and that's why the round differentials came in, rather than losing their morale or losing a little bit of a confidence. Because right now how Kolkata is walking with, it's really good to see pulling off rounds back to back. And where Kolkata stands a chance, I think they have a very good chance to be a high contender for the grand finale. And if they manage to pull it off, being the last people to qualify to this tournament, everybody from the top 3 positions will be thrown off guard, saying that, wait, where did we fall out and how did we let Kolkata walk away with the grand finale?
Well, that is something that we'll have to see, because Kolkata, the last time the league happened, they were not having the best time. We saw Rajasthan have good times when Deathmaker was playing there, but this time Deathmaker is going to be on Kolkata. And Kolkata, though, they've had, they've had that shaky start, as you can say, but at the end of the day, it is going to come down to the fact that they are possibly still going to be the team that qualifies. Because yes, Delhi technically can still qualify, so can Kolkata, and so can the side of Hyderabad. But it will really come down to the fact that if they can't make it happen at the last moment, all that effort that has gone in through the start of the competition is just going to go to waste. But the patience is going to pay off for all of us, because we are going to be heading over to the map of Icebox, which is going to be the third and the final map between both these teams. And well, we have the lineups in front. It is going to be Mumbai having the lineup of Chromes, Binks, Strix, Shozen, and Millie, while Kolkata having the same lineup of Deathmaker, Flex, Hevan, Rexy, and Meow 16. But this time, the change up is going to be that Deathmaker is going to be on the Rena, and Flex might pick up that Sova or the Jet. We will have to see.
This is a very interesting. Again, we have seen Hevan playing that Viper. He's back on that Viper. Rexy is going for a Killjoy now, and with the controller that he played previously, I thought he should be on an Initiator. Flex goes in. It looks like he'll be picking up that Initiator. Deathmaker on this Rena. I am already liking it, Dr. Dang. If this Deathmaker proves with those Empress coming in multiple times for Deathmaker, he might eventually end up having a 30 KD or a 40 KD.
Well, Deathmaker is absolutely insane. And, I am going to be a little sad that we are not going to be seeing him on the Jet. But then again, Rena is equally good on the map of Icebox, especially the fact that her flashes are going to be very, very useful on this map. Because again, Breach has the same kind of utility in terms of Rena as the flashes go through the wall. But there are going to be there are going to be so many different surfaces that a Breach flash will have to go through to actually work out properly, which is why the Rena Leer is a lot more easier to work with, and the Rena Leer is going to be a lot more, as you can say, consistent on the map of Icebox, especially on A side.
It's going to be really very interesting. As you mentioned, that Leer on that A side is going to prevent vision for so many angles, and it might be something that Deathmaker, if he just stands from that mid sandwich position or that pipes position and puts it on top, everybody from the attacker side who will be looking towards it, or even the defender side who will be looking towards the attack coming through, will be completely thrown off their vision and will not know where the attackers or the defenders are holding position. And that will be an advantage for the team which that Reyna has thrown that Leer out, and that's going to be really interesting. But Deathmaker, I am looking forward to him to pull off a 30k bomb, because if he managed to do that, I really wish for him to pull off a 900 kill today and here.
Well, he is going to be extremely close to getting those 900 kills on the board. And well, Rossi and Deathmaker, what can we really say about these guys? I mean, with Rossi, at least he only has one game in hand to reach his total of 1,000 kills if he can do that. But Deathmaker, he has a lot to is going to be having a lot to come up about, and that is exactly going to be the thing that I kind of feel that Deathmaker might not be able to reach the 1,000 kills, but if he can, well, Rossi and Deathmaker, both of them are going to be having a great showing up in terms of the league so far.
Very interesting. I'm looking forward to this map of Icebox, Dr. Dang, because this is going to be very interesting from both the teams. Yes, there is Arena, the similar lineup, I mean, kind of, except for the triple duelist from the side of Team Mumbai Aces. Yes, they do have a Sage, but they do not have an initiator to play with. And because of which they are only working on flashes and maybe just on bings on their trays. But you know, eventually without flashes or that initiator to give you information, it's going to get really difficult. And also not having a Viper as a controller from the side of Team Mumbai Aces on this defense might be really tough to work out. I mean, they would have to be very aggressive to make sure that Viper's disadvantage is not there for their team.
Well, yes, the Viper is going to be something that surprisingly Mumbai does not feel is needed to invest in, and I don't know whether that is going to work or not. I don't agree with the fact that you need a particular agent to always be there to win a map, because again, it's all about strategies. It is going to be all about the fact that the Viper provides a lot considering the situation that we are in with the current meta being in place, which is why teams like to play the Viper on Icebox. But that does not mean that without a Viper, you will not be able to win the game out. There could be a specific strategy that you might have come up with that can still get you that advantage. I mean, look at that. There are 3 duelists on the side of Mumbai. So maybe their strategy is going to be all-out aggression. We don't care about your Viper wall. We will take the 30 HP DK, but we're going to hit your head, so do what you can. And if that is the idea that Mumbai wants to roll with, well, if they can execute it, well and good. But if they can't, that Viper pick is really going to be something that is going to be a big night and day difference between both these teams.
I agree with you, Dr. Dang. I mean, teams have understood how to play around the Viper. They wait for her toxic screen to go down. They wait for that poison cloud to go down. And also, if there are snake bites in maybe a post-plan situation, they try and go in to take out that Viper itself. So, they do and have a really good chance to play around it, but they need to have a proper strategy. It's not that you need to have always Viper, but if you have a Viper, it gives you a slight advantage in terms of how much you can hold in with respect to a site. You can either block off B completely, or you can completely hold off A itself and prevent the entry from happening. But with this Viper's wall coming from attack, it's going to make life difficult for the side of Team Mumbai to try and prevent the
Spike planted.
plant, as well as go for a retake very fast.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case. Now, Binks is going to get that kill onto Flex with that Doombot, as Chromes is going to get healed. The wall has gone up from the side of the Sage, so that is going to be something great. But Chromes, he goes in for that dash, but Deathmaker, he's a little too fast for you, my buddy. He's going to get that frag for himself. The defuse did get popped, but Deathmaker, he's just hiding inside the smoke. He's going to get one more. The dismiss gets used. He has the last player to find that is going to be the Sage, and well, it looks like Rexy is going to call that out, and well, Deathmaker, he's going to land that shot. He doesn't miss those ones. He's going to get a 3k for himself, and that is Kolkata taking the advantage on the map of Icebox.
Kolkata starting again things off strong and really well. Yes, the first pistol rounds, I guess in the first 2 maps, were not their pick. It was that they were losing on the first half of the pistol, but they did make their comeback either on an equalizer or immediately in that bonus round itself. But nonetheless, now starting it off on an advantage, the side of Team Kolkata will be going in for those Spectres by along with full shields, whereas Rexy holds himself back with just a ghost to play with. Maybe look for an operator for Deathmaker, or maybe just hold it back, because with 4 people alive with those Spectres, it's going to just be better in terms of fighting off with the pistol. And with Meow 16k starting things off, again the Viper wall coming in. There should be a Sage wall as well coming in, which will help the spike plant make things a little bit easier, but it will get denied for quite some time with the page shells coming in from Wings. But look at the position of Deathmaker. Flex with 2 shock dart kills. Flex will pull 1 back, but that's all he gets, as Flex with the 4k will close this round in his team's favor. Oh no, 3k, yes. My bad, sorry, 3k.
3k. that's still going to be something that is very, very impressive. But again, it was a bonus round, so not too much to worry about from the side of Mumbai. As the full buy rolls in, this is going to get interesting because they will have to make sure that they get this round for themselves. If they don't, they will be headed over to another eco. Kolkata get a bigger advantage, and you know how things pan out from there. You have to stabilize your economy at some point of time, and well, so far it has been Kolkata's advantage, but things can change up in a matter of moments in a game like Valorant.
This is just going to get really interesting. But now with the full buys coming here online for the side of team Mumbai Aces need to make sure they capitalize. However, Millie is very close, but yes, she has assistant. It might get difficult, but look at that. Mio 16k with her slowed will also get that kill for her team's favor, and this full buy already with a disadvantage. Mumbai Aces look like they have a difficulty in terms of player count.
Well, yes, that is going to be the case. And well, Binks is going to be getting another frag that is going to equalize us at 4-4. But the Sage Wall is going to be going up. That is going to allow Meow 16. And what a great Sage Wall. So it is going to get taken out. The slow up will get placed, and Meow is going to have to hold off on that plant for just a bit. But that small pixel as to where you could get that spike down, that was a very, very good Sage Wall coming through. As Strix is going to be aware of Hevan coming in. He does get chosen, but Strix is able to get another one. Flex back on his feet. Rexy and Meow 16 pulling one back. It's all down to Chromes. He's going to be in the back
30
of
seconds
sight.
left.
And well, the spike should be going down any second now.
Yep, now with the spike going down, it's all up to the last player surviving. That's going to be Chromes. Yes, he's at fence. He's looking for somebody to cross there, but it'll be difficult. Nobody will come through. And now with 3 people alive, 2 sentinels, they'll be able to pull this off. But look at Rexy's position is known. Rexy's pixels are revealed, but Chromes for some reason will block himself from that vision. This is going to get difficult. This smoke will not be helpful for him. But somehow he managed to pull it off. Rexy will go down, brings it back to a 2v2 situation, but he doesn't know that there's one person right behind him in mid, and that is one of the reasons that he'll be worried. But no, Flex will be able to close him as Chrome somehow tries to fight, but with this full buy not yet working. However, the upgrade coming in for the side of Kolkata, they walk away with the 3-0.
Well, yes, that is going to be the case. That is there. And well, for Mumbai, that's going to be another eco on board for them. But for the side of Kolkata, well, their advantage is only going up and up. Well, it looks like there is going to be a force coming in from the side of Mumbai, with Guardians and Spectres being in play. Chromes being the only one to get a pistol for himself because he has his ult ready. So maybe this should be around that the side of Mumbai is able to surprise the side of Kolkata, because they'll be expecting pistols, but you run into a corner and you have a suppressed SMG going up against you. That can be a really daunting task as well. Strix is going to miss his shots, and Deathmaker, what a flick coming in, the 90-degree rotate. Deathmaker is going to get another one. Binks is going to get taken out. And well, if there is a reason that you want to see that aim on Deathmaker is godlike, well, that was the experience. He was not even looking at him, as Deathmaker with a 3 and a 4 and a flawless on the force coming through. Kolkata not giving the advantage at all. Oh boy.
Oh my god. Rips apart is what Deathmaker is doing. I mean, the tides coming in from Deathmaker, and with that Reyna coming in. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, Dr. Dang. I was watching one of his streams, and there he was forced to take up that Reyna, and I guess that's where he's just improving really good. Yes, he plays that Jet on this map, but with this Reyna coming in, look at him, he's already at 8 kills and only 2 deaths, and he's still looking forward to make his presence even felt worse.
Yeah, that's definitely true. As Hevan and Meow 16 getting one. Chromes, he tries to force the issue with the judge. He gets one onto Deathmaker, but Meow 16 is there for the trade. Binks is going to be the last one standing as Chosen falls, and Hevan will collect him inside kitchen and recover a sheriff as well. That's insult to injury. But it looks like Kolkata is just looking unstoppable at this point of time.
I mean, this is what I said. There is a lot of utilities from the side of team Kolkata, and especially with that Viper, they do have an advantage. For the side of Team Mumbai Aces, to pull this off in even a couple of rounds, they need to make sure they play around the Viper's utilities. But in the meantime, for a quick reminder for all the people that is watching, stay home and also get vaccinated as and when your slot comes in. So don't forget to get yourself registered. But with this full buy coming in again, Strix is very aggressive. There's the Hunter's Fury coming in, but look at Wing's position. He takes up one. He might be able to pick off a couple more here with that very good positioning for himself. This looks like he might be able to pull off another one, but look at Meow's position. Oh no, Strix pulls off one, and still Binks is surviving. Oh my god.
Well, Binks is able to survive because that is going to be a very tough position for anyone to contest. Even if you walk through the door or the elbow, you are not going to be having a good time keeping that angle because, well, you are going to be seeing only a pixel of his head, yes, but they're going to be seeing your entire body, including your head, as Flex is going to be going in. Millie is going in for that TP. She's going to shift the position that she's in. Deathmaker is going to be getting chromes finally, but he is going to be in his dismiss. Flex goes in, but it is going to be Shosen who gets that kill, and Millie with the TP is going to get that final frag. The first round on board from the side of Mumbai is going to be on the back of Millie, Shosen and Binks, all finishing off the side of Kolkata in B main.
Wow, man, oh man. What a round that was. I mean, it was all Binks to start things off with that position that he had held on top of the container. I mean, that's like so much utility that he has used just to get on top of that position, because on the start of the round you can't immediately go to that position because you're not a jet, you don't have an updraft. But again, Binks is going to another position. This is what we have seen a lot of times Binks doing. Yes, that position is a little bit difficult to contest, but people will manage to figure out a way. But now with this Owl drone coming in, Chromes will somehow still manage to pick off a kill even though he was tagged. But Hevan will pick off 2 kills. Meow will bring out one online, but Strix will manage to take down Hevan. Millie will bring one back, but look at Deathmaker's position. He's at a very good backstab that he can pull off as Flex takes down Millie. Strix might go down for 3, and Binks will go down as Strix will try to survive as long as possible. And now with Strix, the sole survivor, it is looking like it's very difficult for him to fight out 2 people, but he still has his ultimate, and that Empress coming in might be the reason things might change as Strix pops it off. But no.
Oh, that was so close. Strix, he got the dink, but it was through the wall. And 10 HP on Deathmaker is what he survives with. And that is going to be Kolkata getting another round on board. A very good effort from Strix. He had to pop that ultimate at that point of time, because in a 1v2, if you have the Empress, it is just going to give you such a huge advantage. Not only do you get the extra fire rate, the extra fast reload, you get your enemies highlighted, not to mention you get healed up instantly, and your dismiss is going to be completely invisible. That gives you such a big advantage. But as the wall is going to get used up by the side of Shosen inside of Tube, a very basic wall, but Rexy, he's going to jump up onto the rafters, maybe look to get a free pick from here and there, but he has to worry about the fact that his head is only going to be showing up, which means that anyone can click that and get a kill. As Shosen is going to be getting Deathmaker, that's a huge frag, but the Viper's ult is going to come through, and this retake from the side of Mumbai will be very difficult. But they do have a judge, and if there is one weapon that a Viper fears inside her own ultimate, that is going to be the judge.
Now with that ultimate coming in, contesting this will get difficult, but we know Binks is going to be that big brain play. Chromes takes down, but Hevan still surviving. Millie will take him down, and now that ultimate goes down, Flex somehow survives that side, will pick off 2 people, and it's all up to Millie to pull this. 2 dark covers popped off, but it will get really difficult as Flex is very close to Jen. He goes in for a reload, but look at Rexy, he's right on back on Millie, as the reload does happen for Millie as well, as Kolkata do not want to let go of any rounds, and it's 7-1, where Kolkata is proving disastrous for the side of Team Mumbai Aces on the map of Icebox.
Well, 7-1, and at least I'll give this to Mumbai, that the Viper has not been the difference between both these teams so far. As we have a question coming up, it is going to be, guys, we see the strand of the game, but for doing that, just imagine how hard must the back-end team of Sky Esports is working. Guys in the chats, let's have Sky Esports heart in the chat. Well, thank you so much for this, Avi. And well, that is going to be something that as casters we do understand. Back-end people surprisingly work a lot more than what we as casters do, because as long as the stream is live, yes, we are working. But what about the time when the stream is not live? Well, the back-end guys are still going to be working. As Millie, she is able to surprise Deathmaker, but she gets taken out by the Killjoy instead.
Oh, wow, Heavan, this lurker, man. Any agent, he still managed to slurk, but shows an one kill that Rexy picked will get traded off immediately, but still those last two people surviving from the side of Mumbai Aces will be getting difficult. But with that rest coming in, they bring it back to a 3v3 advantage with the couple of rifle upgrades. But Chosen will spot out the mid rotate, but they need to be worried about Heavan. He's holding mid, and he might be the reason that they lose the player who came online as well.
Well, yes, that is definitely going to be the case. Heavan is going to get that frag. He gets taken out by Shozen, so that is going to equalize man count. But the Rena on Mumbai, which is Strix, is going to be a little low on HP. And well, there is going to be a wall that Meow16 places inside lane, and that is going to deny anyone access towards a flank from that side. But it can also allow them to jump up onto that. Well, the heal comes through. They are going to be going in for that aggressive play. The defuse is going to get pinged. Spixes gets one, and Chosen gets the second for a 3k. The thrifty round is going to go in the favor of Mumbai, and I don't get it. How do these people get these thrifty rounds so consistently? We've seen Mumbai get 2, we've seen Kolkata get 1. That's just amazing and interesting.
Really well played from the side of Team Mumbai to pull that off. I mean, what an amazing time that revive come through, and it was just like a good trade that Chosen managed to do at mid. But in the meantime, as Avi said that, I mean, I just want to add on one thing, Dr. Dang, to that. Yes, those production guys constantly during the match, during whatever happens, keep putting up a lot of efforts to make sure whatever you guys are watching are at best and in terms of quality as well. With hashtag Sky Esports, make sure you spam hashtag ye hai Sky Esports League or ye hai Esports League, because that is the tag for AMD Ryzen Sky Esports League 2021. But now, with a quick pause coming through, the side of Team Mumbai, they got a really good thrifty round and they managed to pull it off. But now they need to understand that they are only 3 more rounds away from this first half getting over, and if they manage to get it off at a 7-5, good one. But if they manage to go to a 10-2 or a 9-3, it will not be a great second half for the side of Team Mumbai Aces to pull off an attack. Yes, they do have triple duelist, but you need to understand there is a Viper for those triple duelists as well.
Well, I agree. I think that how we are going to be expecting this map to pan out is really going to come down to the fact that whether Kolkata is going to keep the momentum up. Because if they do, well, we should be seeing a very, very good, play coming out from both these teams. But if that is not going to be the case, well, that is just going to be a little, as you can say, unfortunate for the side of Mumbai.
It will be unfortunate, but nonetheless, now the side of Team Mumbai, they do have 3 more rounds to play with. They do have full buys coming in for them now. They pulled off a thrifty round and an eco. That's really amazing to see. And now with this full buy coming, they do have a really good chance to pull it off. But you need to understand that they are also missing out on a Viper, a proper controller, I would say, because Omen can only put up 2 smokes, and if those 2 smokes gets baited out from the opponent, it will get difficult for the Omen to recover, because it will take 30 to 47 seconds for that Omen smoke to regenerate, and that will be something that Melee would have to tell their team to wait it out and as much as possible to just try and slow the game. But with only one only one sentinel alive, they will be not able to slow it for long. Yes, there can be a wall put up, there can also be slow orbs thrown, but if they manage to use it all at A main or B main, they will not have anything for mid to either close off the flank or even slow down the play that might come in from mid. Because we saw Heavan in at least 2 to 3 rounds, he he took into mid, took a lot of kills for his teammates and managed to pull a couple of rounds, and also in the couple of rounds that he pushed mid, he also was taken down, because of which the side of team Mumbai managed to pull back the match as well. So Mumbai needs to play smart in terms of what utilities they have as well as what utilities the opponents have, and if they manage to understand that, Mumbai will stand a chance to come back with the triple duelist, one sentinel and one controller lineup that they have.
That is true. I think that they are really stretching the fact that you can play all of these, as you can say, agents on different maps. But I really feel that Icebox will be so much more easier with the Viper in play. Now, not just because of the recent changes to Viper, those have made her a lot more powerful than, or a lot more useful than, considering what you could have had with her old and with the old state that she was in. But even if Viper goes back to what we were seeing originally from Viper without any changes, I think that Viper in general is still going to be one of the strongest agents on maps that have multiple lines of sight to cut off, because you can smoke at max 2 angles with an Astra or an Omen, 3 max with Brim, but not have any more smokes to go up in the entirety of the game after that. But with a Viper, you can, yes, you can't rotate the wall, but at the same time, you can cut off entire lines of sight completely without thinking twice. So I think not just on Icebox, but if down the line we get another map that has multiple angles to peek vertically or horizontally like we have on Icebox, Viper is again going to be a very, very strong agent on a map like that.
I mean, Viper is really amazing as an agent, with that buff coming in and teams picking up really well to see. But quick question, Kanzi, does Kolkata have a chance to qualify? It's my favorite team, DM, and yes, they do have a really strong chance to qualify, and if they manage to pull off this flawless victory, they'll be standing at 18, where they would have made their way to the third position. But they do also have one more match to play and make sure they have put their footing really strong in qualifying for the match. So now starting it off again, Kolkata are not looking forward to put off any points. One position revealed, and Meow 16k will be paranoid but will survive as Rexy provides cover. That's really well played. Now look at that layer coming in, will prevent so much sight as Deathmaker with that Empress pops it out, takes out Bing. He's looking for another one, spots, but Shozen is quicker. With that Vandal will tap Deathmaker's head, and Deathmaker is out of the board, and advantage is where the side of team Kolkata are. But Kolkata is looking for to make it even better. Heaven picks off the 2 people surviving, and it's all up to Strix, the last man, and Rexy will pick him off. And what a quick round coming from the side of team Kolkata to close things off. And Mumbai already at a 9-2. Look like this might be a 10-2 as well.
Well, 9-2 is where we are sitting, and this is going to be the last round before the side swap happening. And well, as far as things go for the side of Mumbai, either of these splits, the 10-2 or the 9-3, is going to be difficult for the side of Mumbai to really come back from. But again, it can change up. We have seen this happen many times. We look at a team and go, all right, they clearly don't have the advantage here. There is no way that this team is winning. And then they just come up and change the outcome of the game. And well, right as I speak about that, Shozen is going to pick up Hevan, which means that essentially there is not going to be a Viper on the side of Kolkata. And that is a big loss for them.
Yep, that's going to be a big loss, but still there is 2 sentinels still alive who can hold down the side. There is Millie's Paranoia that hits perfectly on Deathmaker. He'll be blinded completely, but the spike does come through. They do have a resurrection also available. For that to happen, Meow needs to go back, and Meow will somehow get that res on site, but will go down to Millie, and Deathmaker will survive and make his way back. But look at the number of kills going down. Flex will pick one, Rexy will pick one, but oh no, Chromes is so far back to help his team, as it's all up to Chromes. Flex will pick off with the beautiful 3 or a 4k to close this round and bring back Kolkata on 10-2 on the first half.
Well, Kolkata up 10-2 is huge for the side of these players, because, well, again, it's going to come down to the fact that, well, 10-2 is not easy for any team on any map with whatever agent selection you have, because if you are succumbing to a 10-2, you probably have made some serious mistakes on your attack or defense, and well, fixing them right after a rule swap is going to be extremely difficult. But again, I'm not saying there is not a chance. I'm just saying it is very, very unlikely that Kolkata will be giving up this lead for themselves.
Kolkata will not let go of this lead at all. I mean, they'll be pulling it off so well that Kolkata now already with the 10-2, they have the Viper online for defense, which will work even more better. But Strix spots out Flex there, but Flex will manage to survive without losing any HP. But look at Millie, she's trying to take a TP, but very unfortunate. Flex is still surviving there. Flex might be able to pull off one, but no, Strix will deny that from happening. But Deathmaker will pull off that Sentinel. Rexy will manage to take down Chromes. It's so many players that the side of Mumbai have lost. It's going to get difficult because it's just two duelists and their utilities will not complement them from pulling things off. As Deathmaker has pulled one, it's all up to Strix, but look at Deathmaker's position. He might be able to pull it off, but no says. Strix as Heaven will manage to pick that, and now it's already 11 on the pistol round, and next with that bonus coming in, it will be 12-2, and if they force the matter, Mumbai Aces might be able to pull it off to 11-3 possibly.
Well, at least we know for a fact that the side of Mumbai is having fun, that despite having such a such a bad TP happen, Millie is still able to have fun along with her team. So as the Viper wall is going to be going up, Hevan's ready for a B main push, and well, he is bang on with the prediction, and that Viper wall is going to make things so much difficult. Deathmaker unfortunately gets taken out by Millie. The force coming through is going to recover a weapon, but the help is also going to get picked up. Hevan gets one. Will he get a third? No, he will not. Shozen is going to be coming in and getting that final frag back as Millie is trying to go in for another TP. This time it might work, this time it might not, but the Sage is going to get spotted. The Spectre is going to run out of bullets as the Killjoy turret is still going to be running out. Mumbai down to 2 players. They know where Millie is, and Rexy going to land that headshot with the Ghost. It's all down to Shozen now. In a 1v3, he can still make that work because he is going to be that Sage. He needs to get that heal first though, but it looks like he's going to be spotted mid-rotate. Meow not contesting any further, is just going to try and deny that spike plant.
Yeah, that's going to be the case, but look at that. Nanoswarm's also coming, taking so much time for Meow to completely position herself inside. Yes, that heal does come through, but look at the team. They've already made their way, and Shozen again going for a rotate, but now he should be really caught off because Flex is also coming, but time. He manages it to cross over, but now Flex is also already way on his side, and it's going to get difficult with 20 seconds on the clock. What is Shozen doing? He's just running right, left, and two sides again and again. Again, he's making a rotate. Again, nobody knows that he's making a rotate. However, Millie is very close to side, and that spike going down should be red, but it will be very close. If Millie comes in, Meow comes in, there will be no chance of that spike going in with 2 seconds on the clock. That does not look like it will happen as Meow will clean off Shozen.
Well, I like the idea, but the execution, well, 10 points for the idea, and I'll give 4 points for the execution simply because of the fact that that last rotate at 19 seconds was impossible. If you guys do not know, there is actually a YouTuber who does make all these rotation timings. So yes, rotating from the site of A on Icebox all the way to B main is going to take you 23 seconds, which means that, well, if you're at B main and you're trying to head back, it needs at least 23 seconds to make that happen. But it looks like the Sage did not see that video because Deathmaker is going to be picking up 3 kills for himself. The paint shell comes out. He's going to fall to that. Millie is going to get one on the Rexy as well, who is completely blinded. Hevan pulls that back, and it's all down to Binks, who will not be surviving. 13-2. Kolkata get the bonus points, and well, that is going to be a very good game for the side of Kolkata.
Kolkata with such a strong and dominating match today in front of Mumbai Aces will be bang on closing with 2.5 points for the day and will be making their way into the third position on the points table with 18 points. And what a match of Icebox, such a dominant performance of 13-2. Kolkata, as we talked about it, Dr. Dang, that Icebox is going to be a map that all the teams are currently making sure it is their get out of jail free card or their advantage map. But with so many teams already understanding Icebox, it's going to be equal competition. There's no advantage in terms of a map for teams, because now looking at this performance from Kolkata, it looks like they're also good on Icebox. Bengaluru is also good on Icebox. Rajasthan, not great, but still good on Icebox, and Hyderabad Nawabs are also getting better on the map of Icebox. So the four teams that look very close to qualifying are looking like they are very good in terms of the map of Icebox, and for them to contest it as an advantage map, I'm looking forward to who will come on top if that does happen. But nonetheless, Kolkata worked it out really well with 2.5 to close today's match.
Well, yes, that is going to be a very, very good, as you can say, game coming out from the side of Kolkata. Not just in terms of the points that they pick up, but also in the kind of plays that we saw. We saw that, well, today Kolkata was not taking any chances with either an agent selection or going in for unnecessary force buys or any of that stuff that they had tried in the last few games. And Flex and Deathmaker really just showing up huge for them. Meow as the content creator, making sure that they had the support that was needed. Hevan, as usual, just being perfect as he is. And well, Rexy, the all but reliable. Everything that you ask Rexy to do is going to get done. And well, he is going to be an extremely reliable player to have on your team. And today, Kolkata, they needed all five of them to do their job perfectly. And well, guess what? All of them pulled off the work that they had to do in a flawless fashion.
Amazing, man. And kudos to the side of team Kolkata Tridents. For them, they are getting better, and I'm pretty sure you'll also agree to this, Dr. Dang, that they're getting better in terms of gameplay, in terms of strategies, in terms of agents coming through. And with that Reina coming in for Deathmaker, look at him, 20 kills and 11 deaths. Yes, unfortunate that I guess he'll be close to somewhere around 70 or 80 kills for the day. Might not be able to close it to the 900 mark, but nonetheless a really good match that Deathmaker pulled off for his team. Hevan right behind him with 18 kills. Flex also not far behind with that initiator, 14 kills with only 5 deaths on that initiator. And look at the number of assists. I mean, you need that for an initiator with 7 kills. Really amazing played. And Mia also not far away. She's with 9 kills, 7 deaths and 8 assists for herself. Rexy with 10 kills, 6 deaths and 4 assists. I mean, the whole side of team Kolkata have assists on each and everybody, but the side of team Mumbai Aces, this will clearly say the scoreboard that there was not a lot of trades happening on the side of team Mumbai Aces, where you can see it was only Binks with 7 assists, whereas everybody else with 2, 1, 1 and 0. Whereas on the side of team Kolkata, n number of assists are there, because of which it goes to say that a lot of trade games were being forced on the side of Mumbai Aces, because of which advantages started rolling in for the side of Kolkata as well.
I agree. And again, Deathmaker, back at the top of the table. Just there is no way that he is going to be coming down anytime soon. And well, I am very excited to see the top 5 players coming through, because that is going to be, it is going to be extremely, as you can say, exciting in terms of who is how close to getting those 1,000 kills and who might or might not have a chance at getting that.
Yep, I'm really excited. I want to see like who has pulled up really close, if Deathmaker has made his way and he's back on very close, or has he reached that 900 mark. I'm not too sure. He might have a really good chance to reach out to the 900 mark, but for all the viewers, tomorrow is your double match day, a Super Tuesday coming in, and a brawl of matches that is kept alive. That's going to be a first match, that is Bengaluru and Rajasthan Strikers. The second map, it's going to be Hyderabad versus Kolkata, and these two matches are not that you want to miss. So for that, stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe and hit that bell icon, because sharp back on 2 p.m. we'll be live again for tomorrow's match, because tomorrow will decide whether Rajasthan will stay on top or whether it'll be Bengaluru walking away with a difference and will be taking the top spot on the points table on the league format of Sky League 2021, and will it be Hyderabad preventing points on the second match for the side of Kolkata, or will Kolkata, just like today after two flawless victories, will be able to pull off a hat trick on their last match to make it 3 flawless victories?
Yep, I think that might be possible, but a flawless victory is going to be very difficult for them as well, because guess what? They're going up against Hyderabad. Hyderabad has 2 games in hand, one against Delhi, one against the side of Kolkata. And well, if we look at the scoreboard right now, I believe Kolkata is going to be sitting at 16.5, Hyderabad at 17.5, and Delhi is at 16, which means that if Hyderabad lose against Kolkata tomorrow and Kolkata is able to pick up 2 points or 2.5, they should be in a very good spot. And if Hyderabad by any chance misses the game or loses the game against Delhi, that will basically mean Hyderabad getting knocked out. So again, for these 3 teams,
Yep.
the next games coming up are very, very important. And I'm pretty sure that, well, there is going to be a lot of amazing plays coming out in the next few days.
Oh yeah, I mean, for all these teams, they can be for sure guaranteed on that. As you mentioned, there's going to be interesting for tomorrow, and being a Super Tuesday so close to that league format ending, and as you said, Dr. Dang, if Hyderabad at the last stage of the league format managed to get knocked out for the sole reason that they lost the last 2 matches, still holding that 4th position. I mean, yes, 4th position after today's closure or today's end, because Kolkata walked away with a flawless victory. But before that, they were holding the 3rd position and looked like they should have qualified if Kolkata did not win the point. But now with the 4th position and losing 2 matches, Dr. Deng, at the last moment where we said we have to just wish and pray that Kolkata win, and it looks like Hyderabad all of a sudden, with players or even fans who were not worried about that situation happening, all of a sudden would have to end up accepting the fact that Hyderabad lost and will be going out of the tournament.
Well, yes, Hyderabad being the reigning champions, they really just have to make sure that, if it does not become, they do not want to become the joke. They do not want to be the champions who were not able to even defend their title by making it into the playoffs. So as for Hyderabad, I think they're going to be definitely out for blood and looking to get that win against Kolkata. But for Kolkata, even if they lose the game tomorrow, it is not game over, because if Hyderabad wins against Kolkata and Delhi, then Kolkata still gets a spot, because right now they're above Delhi, and Delhi only has 1 game against Hyderabad on the last remaining play day. So that is the points table right now, as Kolkata is going to be up to 18. They're going to leapfrog Hyderabad as well. They're going to force Delhi down to 16th position, or rather the 5th position with 16 points. And well, Hyderabad versus Kolkata tomorrow is really going to decide whether one of these teams is going to qualify, or will we have to wait a little longer to really know who is going to be taking it home.
Oh, I mean, with Kolkata, if they manage to end up not bag any points and Delhi managed to get points on the last match, I think Kolkata will still stand a chance to qualify, because the recent matches that they have had really good round differential. So they would have an upper hand, I might say, but still, we wouldn't know until that 18-18 happens and we check the round differential and then get to know that it was Delhi Dragons in the start of the tournament had better round differential in compared to where Kolkata in the last few matches that they had. So maybe that might be also the decider. Nonetheless, yes, this is the scoreboard standing. First is Bengaluru, second is Rajasthan, third it's Kolkata, fourth Hyderabad, fifth Delhi Dragons. It's time to say bye-bye for Mumbai Aces in this league, as well as they finished their 14 matches, and for Punjab and Chennai it was goodbye yesterday as they both finished their last matches as well.
I agree. I think that it is just going to come down to the fact that the last 3 games that we have in this league are going to be as exciting as the first few that we had, and it is going to be a nail biter at the end of the day, because well, Kolkata or the only game that I can say does not really change the balance in terms of who's going to qualify and who is not is going to be the game versus in Rajasthan versus Bangalore, and even that is going to be exciting because they are the top two teams in the league. It's not like, oh, there's no effect on the points table, I don't want to see that game. No, it's the top two teams in the league. They are the best teams in the league in terms of the points that they have picked up. So Bangalore versus Rajasthan is not something you will want to miss. And that is going to be the final games for both of them. And as far as things go, either one of these teams can finish in the first spot if they win. Because if Bangalore wins it, well, they're already in the first spot. They're going to have that first spot. But if Rajasthan wins it, even in a 2-0, in a 2-1, not a 3-0, they will be going up against Bangalore. And well, at that point of time, the scores are going to be equalized. So it's just going to be interesting. Every single game is going to be very, very interesting.
I agree with you, Dr. Dang. I mean, this is just amazing that what we are seeing from these teams while they are playing and manage to take upon each other. And who would have even thought, Dr. Dang? Because this schedule was made way long back. I mean, we decided the 55-day schedule right at the start, just before the tournament, a couple of weeks itself before April 9th. And for us to come to a situation where only these last three matches decide the fate of the last three teams as well, who will be topping on the points table, what an interesting, I would say, schedule that has come across. I mean, without even the Skyesports team, the management, everybody deciding and putting across this, who would have even thought that this is where we'll be ending up, where the teams which are qualifying are actually the teams which will be playing the last matches during the end of the league format.
Well, yes, and there we go. We have the top 5 professional players in the league, and that is going to be Rossi at top still with 925 kills. Sorry, my bad. 925 kills in 13 games. Deathmaker, a close second with 13 games and 882 kills. Well, he's only, I believe, he's only 43 kills off the score that we have from the side of Rossi. And well, that is going to be MW1 at third with 713 kills and 13 matches played. Skills with 13 kills and 673 kills. And then Binks, he's going to lock his position on the leaderboard with 650 kills because he's played all of the 14 games that he could be playing.
Dr. Dang, once you said 325, I was like, wait, what? Then I realized, okay, that's just something. But if SK Rossi would have heard that, he's like, wait, where did my 600 kills go away? I have to pull off 600 again back. I was about to be happy that I'll be the first man or the first individual pulling off 1000 kills in the next upcoming match, because we know for a fact that he has a really good chance. But if it would have been 325, SK Rossi would be the first man to be shocked, and he'd be like, no, you cannot do that to me, Skyesports.
Well, if he had to pick up 600 kills, I don't think it would be a problem for him, because if he is able to pick up 925 in just 13 games, 600 kills is what? 4 games for the man? 5 games? 6 games for the man at max? And well, that is not something that is really going to be an issue for him. But still, looking at the numbers that we have, especially the top 3, I mean, skills at 13 games and 673 is very, very huge still, like extremely huge number. But the other 3, which is Rossi, Deathmaker and MW1 at 925, 885, 882 and 713 respectively are going to be absolutely insane. But the content creators, well, Punjab, they are going to be locking Hydroflix position in at 566 kills at the top of the leaderboard. Solo, he has one more game and the playoff games to make sure that he can get his position up higher on the leaderboard. He has 2 aces though with 487 kills. And then we have Rebel. He's also going to be locking his position in with 1 ace and 427 kills. Fatu will also not be getting a chance going forward. He is going to be playing no more in the playoffs. So 301 kills is what he was able to manage. And then Snacks is going to be playing the games going forward in the playoffs with 252 kills.
A lot of people, 3 players on the content creators board, have their chance to make their way across. Solo, Rebel and Snacks. Delhi, wouldn't completely say that they will be able to move or not, because they do have one match to play, and it does depend on how Kolkata as well as Hyderabad manage to play. And with the last match being on your Wednesday, that's going to be May 26th to end the league format. So Delhi, wish and pray until their last match that Hyderabad does not win, as well as Kolkata does not manage to pull off so many points that they are making their position along with Hyderabad Nawabs at a strong stage that you will not be able to make your way back. But a really good match that these teams have been able to pull off. A really good day for the side of Kolkata Tridents, who are making their way back on the points table, pulled themselves into the third position, and they will be able to close the match as well at this end of the day with two flawless victories back to back. One from Rajasthan yesterday, one from Mumbai today, and tomorrow it's going to be another deadly force, that is Hyderabad Nawabs, that they will be facing in the second half of the day and the second half of the match. That will be starting around 5:30 to 6 as we finish off the first match. That's going to be Bengaluru Crushers versus Rajasthan Strikers.
That is definitely going to be the case. So tomorrow, the first game, as you said, Rajasthan versus Bangalore, and then the second game, Hyderabad versus Kolkata. And last two play days left in the league. We have had such a long time in this, and well, that is going to be as things stand. But so far, so good. It is going to be, at the end of the day, end of day 46. And well, what a way to seal the third position on the board for the side of Kolkata. Well, they are going to be leapfrogging both Delhi as well as Hyderabad. They go up to the third position. Hyderabad drops down to fourth. Delhi drop down to fifth. And Delhi have a big game on the last day of the tournament. A very consistent team, but unfortunately, out of these three, only two will be looking to get a shot at the grand prize. Other than that, it was a very, very good day for everyone. As far as things stand, that is going to be the end of the stream for today on day 46. And well, we will be meeting you all tomorrow. So that is going to be me, Dr. Dang, along with Lucifer, signing off. If you do want to contact us, you can drop our names in the YouTube search bar and you will be getting our channels and we can have a chat over there. But other than that, that is it from our sides for today. See you all tomorrow and stay safe and take care.
Have a great inning. Bye-bye.
You're ready to get in the game now. The last thing you want is to wait and wait. Because the game waits for no one. WD Black, performance storage, purpose-built for gaming. Get in fast, so you can take them out faster. SSD speed that obliterates load times. Performance to transform your game. Expanded capacity to store more. Customizable RGB. Fine-tuned for every style of play. PC, laptop, console. WD Black is purpose-built for the way you game. Because the game never waits. WD Black. Drive your game. You're ready to get in the game now. The last thing you want is to wait and wait. Because the game waits for no one. WD Black, performance storage, purpose-built for gaming. Get in fast, so you can take them out faster. SSD speed that obliterates load times. Performance to transform your game. Expanded capacity to store more. Customizable RGB. Fine-tuned for every style of play. PC, laptop, console. WD Black is purpose-built for the way you game. Because the game never waits. WD Black. Drive your game. You're ready to get in the game now. The last thing you want is to wait and wait. Because the game waits for no one. WD Black, performance storage, purpose-built for gaming. Get in fast, so you can take them out faster. SSD speed that obliterates load times. Performance to transform your game. Expanded capacity to store more. Customizable RGB. Fine-tuned for every style of play. PC, laptop, console. WD Black is purpose-built for the way you game. Because the game never waits. WD Black. Drive your game. You're ready to get in the game now. The last thing you want is to wait. And wait. Because the game waits for no one. WD Black. Performance storage. Purpose-built for gaming. Get in fast. So you can take them out faster. SSD speed that obliterates load times. Performance to transform your game. Expanded capacity to store more. Customizable RGB. Fine-tuned for every style of play. PC, laptop, console. WD Black is purpose-built for the way you game. Because the game never waits. WD Black. Drive your game.